10.
Oh, seven star citizens, and welcome back to Answer the Call, your weekly call-in show and podcast about Star Citizen with myself and SaltEMike.
Hello.
I am back this week. The baby and the wife were both sick last weekend, so not much chance to podcast last weekend, but looked like a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Little sad that an episode I wasn't on was a 1 out of 10 in YouTube, but
Yeah.
I'll take it. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's because you weren't here. I think it's because it was a very controversial topic that had
Yeah.
lots of people had opinions about it. And then it turned out that CIG just like changed it all around anyway immediately after during the week. So I don't even know if it mattered.
Classic.
Yeah. But maybe our conversation had something to do with it. Who knows? So what have you been up to? So just a sick baby, sick wife, or did you get into anything else?
While sick baby and sick wife, lots of Slay the Spire 2.
Okay.
Absolutely loving it. Never played the first one. Been very much enjoying the second one.
Oh yeah.
And then as I was about to test the PTU, like a couple of hours after ATC last week, my monitor broke. Just turned off and then didn't want to work. So I wasn't able to play at all this entire week until today.
Yep.
Which felt really crap, especially because like when you're a content creator and the patch comes out, or in this case, it was like open wave and all that sort of stuff. And then you just go sit there, just watch everyone else enjoy all the new stuff. And
yeah, not cool.
Really sucks. Yeah.
Worst feeling. And then I had similar tech issues, but not with a monitor. I have it with this camera that we're looking at right now. That, I invested a lot in a long time ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's important to have like good camera for YouTube, stuff like that. And it's breaking. It won't open. So in order for you to see me, the lens has to open and extend, and it won't extend. So I got it to extend, but it was hard. And so now I'm going to bring it in and bring it to the shop and see if I can get it fixed. But that, like I was explaining to my wife, that's for me the one piece of tech that if it breaks, like I feel forced to replace it. I know webcams are a thing and webcams are better nowadays, but like if one of my GPUs broke, I could still stream from one of my other computer. Like I have a couple computers.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
I don't have the advantage of that.
I have two
ever
PCs.
Since they brought out the 3080 and it was like, look, you can stream and play every game at the same time.
Yeah,
it's fine. It doesn't matter. I was just like on one system. So for me, it's the opposite. It's always been the case of like, if a bit of hardware breaks, like the monitor or GPU, motherboard, like it's happened in the past, I had the motherboard. That is an instant replace. Whereas I will just replace my camera with a C920 or something for a little bit, right? Until
I would do it for a little, for sure. I would take probably the day off, redo the setup so it worked, because it would not work with what I have set up right now. But then just go from there. Like I stream from my parents' house with a C920. It's not that big of a deal, but long term, it's like something I would have to replace. So it would bum me out. But enough of that. Is this not the best patch in Star Citizen's history? For me, I think it is.
Coming in today, so I had limited testing of crafting in Evo.
Okay.
Limited testing of inventory in Evo, right? I had maybe 6 hours of like each of those. Coming into the game today felt like a completely different game. Not completely different. Things bugged out.
Lots of things changed from Evo to what we have now.
Yeah. Yes. So like it felt like I was coming into the game with a different purpose. A better purpose, a dare I say sense of progression. Even the idea of having to get blueprints and then being able to go to Rockbreaker and try to grab some of the materials I needed and all that sort of stuff. It felt so cool. It felt really refreshing, I guess.
Yeah, refreshing. Maybe not the best patch ever, because I mean the next patch will be the best patch ever. That's how it always goes. But but refreshing is definitely the word. Because I did, guys. I streamed 4 hours. That's it. For 10 years, I've streamed 4 hours. I did 10, 9, 10. Right? And the only
Yeah.
reason I got off yesterday early after like 5 is because, or 6, is because my wife was like, no more, don't do that to me anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then today will be like a normal, I'll get off after the pod.
Mhm.
But yeah, oh, just a real quick side note, I played Timberborn. There was a Timberborn sponsor because it went 1.0. It's like a little city builder.
Timberborn,
where
nothing like yeah.
It's a city builder, but you're beavers. That's your
Okay.
characters are
That's kinda cool.
beavers. And it was
Yep.
it was super fun. I had a good time with it.
That's
It
hype.
was better than
That's
I
hype.
thought it would be. But yeah. But all I've done is mine, craft,
Mhm.
blueprints, mine, craft, uh
Yeah.
rock breaker, mine, just constant
Yeah.
and just trying to figure out, all right, where is everything? I'm also messaging every org leader I know. Do you need anything?
Yes.
Do you want to buy anything from me? What do you want? And now they're now that people understand and know what's going on, they're starting to
Yep.
come with me with their orders. And the orders are
Mhm.
coming in. So can I do
That
a
was
shameless plug for my org a little bit? Quick shameless
yeah.
plug. If you, I guess with our shared chat, it's a little hard, but if you come to my Twitch chat individually, and type !org, you'll get the Discord for, oh, I guess it works. So it might show up for everybody. I don't know.
It should.
But you'll get the Discord for my org, and there's a little ticket system in there, and you can
Yeah.
request an order of whatever you want, however you want it. And
Yeah.
we'll try and fill it. Dude, I got the Parallax blueprint yesterday, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to find good high level of that, and I can't get like
Yep.
600-700. It's the best I just did it, but
Yeah.
600-700 is the best I'm finding.
I think one of the like biggest sort of impacts of this, and obviously still waiting for live, but like I felt the need today to actually post in my org Discord section we never posted about like, hey guys, put all your want to buys, put all your want to sells.
Mm-hmm.
What are we looking for? We want to start getting like everyone's getting stuff together, right? Especially because like you can sort of see the vision of how this next patch is going to play out.
Yep.
Where most people aren't going to go, all right, first grind, get every single blueprint. No, they're going to go for specific blueprints.
Yep.
Second grind, either purchase or actually acquire materials and then do some trading of materials, right?
Yep.
I'm already in my head, all right, cool. Let's find out how do I get the scalpel blueprint? Because I'm a big fan of the scalpel.
Okay.
How do I get the Karna rifle blueprint? Just because that's my favorite, like every day.
I made a
thing.
Karna.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
What gets altered? What 3 things get altered?
Well, it's like 5 things. It's
okay.
Like visual recoil. It's like 3 recoil stats, then 3 or 4 recoil stats, and then damage.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those are the ones that I want to focus on, at least for weapons for now.
Yep.
You know. And I know other people will want to do other stuff, so it's like, all right, cool. If you're going arrowhead and I'm going scalpel, let's make a deal. Let's whenever we find resources the other needs, let's make a deal. So very, very excited for just all of this. It's such a game changer.
That's a good point. I think the economy is going to be a lot more like trade economy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like because money still just doesn't matter, and so
true.
Like so much of it will also just be like, I'll give you gun if you give me gun. I don't care what value it is. Like, you know, equivalent exchange.
Sure. I mean, you will care with what happened in the Friday patch notes, but we'll get to that. You don't want a gun with negative stats, do you? But you might get one.
I got an armor with negative stats, which was fun. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't have had negative stats. I reduced the damage reduction on one of the heavy armor pieces.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a bug because I was using all 500 plus. So it shouldn't have reduced.
No, that's weird.
But it was kind of funny.
Okay, so we're getting into the crafting talk. Do we want to jump right into that, or do we want to like get the other things that happened this week out of the way and just brush over them very quickly? Because I think we're probably gonna have a lot of calls. I think we had 3 before I even got in here. We're full right now. So you want to
let's brush through the news because there's a lot of news. Most of it is stuff that we're either expecting or sort of will come up in the other stuff that we're going to talk about, obviously.
Sure. Anything in particular you want to start with, or you want me to lead the way there?
Go for it, whichever you want first.
I mean, let's go SCL first. SCL was kind of did you catch it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was whatever. Like there was lots of exciting-ish things that they talked about, but it's all like, oh, this is working in Squadron 42, or
Yeah.
like I don't know, what were some of your highlights, and then I'll jump into
So
mine.
yeah, we'll start with highlights. First is like the weapon spoilers about
Yep.
what Zach's been working on that they are aiming for this year. For the what is it, 2026? For the 2026th year in a row, the crossbow is coming this year.
Yeah.
Um,
I think this
honestly,
one's
when
for real,
Zach
though.
says it, I believe it.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
this one's for real.
yeah. So that'll be very cool. Very hyped for the med gun. Um,
Yeah,
there's
med pen
two
gun.
possibilities. Yeah, not med pen gun. It was.
You sure? I thought he said med pen gun.
Oh, did I maybe I misheard. I thought he med. No, yeah, he said med pistol,
Yeah. Okay.
not
Okay.
med pen. So I think there's two ways that this could go. And one of them was brought up by chat, and I think is really smart. So the one that was brought up by chat is a long range like med gun that does like little pistol, like shoot a thing, they heal a little bit. That'd be really cool.
Oh, like
That'd be fun.
Overwatch.
Yeah. But
Okay.
instead of like a beam or anything, it's just it's kind of like what's his name? The guy that's on skates. It's like his one where it's just like each hit heals you a little bit, or like
Yeah.
Anna's rifle, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's one possibility. I think the other possibility that I think is more likely, similar to how they did the tractor beam SMG, something like that, where it's like it's a med gun, but it's harming you, like it's shooting poison instead of shooting
Or it's
medicine.
longer range or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
That
something
one's
like
interesting.
that. So I think those are probably the two possibilities. But I'm very hyped for those regardless.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
I'll go. I was gonna say my highlights.
I'm just saying
Go.
because there was more guns as well. So there was the
True.
the railgun that is apparently like a smaller railgun, as in not a shoulder mounted. So we'll see what that looks like, because that presumably will be a very unique damage type.
Yeah, it's
Because the
weird.
railgun that we have is just really a rocket launcher. It certainly feels like a rocket launcher. The lever action gun, hell yeah.
That sounds cool.
That sounds cool as hell. Let's play some Hunt Showdown in space.
Yeah.
And then there was one other
Bullpup.
Bullpup, yeah.
Bullpup or something like that. I just learned what that is. That's where like the magazine is behind the trigger. Those guns look so cool, man. So
yeah, they're very cool. So some very interesting weapons coming. Sweet. Hell yeah, let's go. I'm looking for all of them.
Hell yeah. I would say my highlights were like when Luke Presley was talking about the armors and going over like lots of
it was a deep dive into the
talk.
armors.
Yeah, a lot of like, all right, well, a lot of our armors are not going to have EVA, but we're going to provide an EVA backpack. Because I was like, oh, damn, what do shipboarders do? And I was like, okay, they have a solution for that. Awesome. But biggest thing for me were two of them. The utility armors. They've been talking about utility armors forever. I never knew what they were. Now I do. There's a engineering one, which will let you know like you can maybe like ping and see the components and the stats of those components and everything, which is awesome. So for salvaging or for engineering and healing and stuff, that's great. And then the big one is, and you're going to notice it now with 4.7, how painful it is to hand mine. It's pretty brutal because you need to scan before with a mining ship to know the quality of the hand mineable material. And if you go into a cave, you don't know the quality of the hand mining material. So you can't see it on your multi-tool. If you bring a golem, you can, or a geo, excuse me, you can. But if you're just hand tool, which a lot of us are, it's hard in caves. This will allow you to see that. So for anybody who's like, oh, why didn't they add the stat to the multi-tool? It's because they've always been planning on adding the stat to that unique helmet, and that's how you gain that advantage, I guess.
Especially annoying in Rockbreaker, where there is a bunch of apherite around, but you can't figure out the quality unless you mine it.
Correct.
So a big one there. In a similar vein, the medical armor as well will also have the ability to do a ping, and then you will get
see down players. They said from far away.
Players, how much health everyone has, which is awesome. Those are fantastic changes. I'd be really keen to see those brought in. when Starware comes out in, well, this isn't Starware, but when this stuff comes out in
Armor
2040.
update or whatever. Yeah, in like
Yeah.
3,000 years. The biggest
'Cause if
change, though,
yeah.
believe it or not, was they
Mhm.
said they were going to give heavy and medium armors even more damage mitigation than they have now. They want to
Yeah,
raise
this
the
I was
TTK. That's
yeah, I was a
controversial.
little concerned about this because I'm like, everyone's in heavy armor already right now for the most part.
Yeah,
There's not much reason to be in light armor, but they then mentioned a bunch of essentially like nerfs that are coming to heavy armor as well.
correct.
So it's like maybe it'll be okay within that context.
Yep.
But like if it was right now, I'd just be like, who cares?
Yeah, I'm letting them cook, but I
So
just wonder what
yeah,
community members are going to think on this, because there are still many complaints about the time to kill,
yeah,
um, on
um,
FPS PvP.
yeah.
So
I was excited to learn about the super heavy armor as well that they mentioned.
very
And that the
unique
debuff for
sounding.
that being that you cannot heal.
Yeah,
Sweet.
you need to be healed by
Cool.
others. You
Yeah,
know what I think
awesome.
about
Sweet.
that? I
What?
don't think that's like it. That's not a PvP design at all. That feels very
Probably not.
much.
Well, it sounds like a Team Fortress Overwatch type
Yeah,
PvP design.
true. Yeah, like a
But
CC
yeah,
character
I still think you're
somehow.
right. I think that's definitely going to be
What I mean by that is
more of a PvE thing.
yeah, like I feel like they designed a PvE experience around it.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like. They would be like, "All right, you're going up against this big tough thing, but you
Hmm.
can't heal, but you do a ton of damage." So yeah,
Yeah.
like uh, for
Speed is
example,
always
the
anytime in
Apex
PvP,
Valakar.
speed is always going to be king, right? Like
Yeah,
getting the drop on someone is always way more important than like everything else.
yeah. So like I'm thinking they probably are working on this with the Apex Valakar experience, because they did mention that at the beginning as well,
Yeah.
where they're trying to dial it in so it feels good. And that sounds like heavily armored player against a big worm.
Hmm.
Maybe it makes sense. That's my guess out there. We'll
Potential
see.
potential PvP broken strat that would come with the super heavy armor
Stand
is
behind him and heal,
just
crouched.
well, like you see how quickly you can heal, right? So you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have the super heavy guy and then the chain of like the chain of med guys just standing behind, constantly healing each other and that.
Yep.
Um
We always find a way to ruin their design, so that could be it.
yes. So hopefully they can figure out a way to sort that. Which honestly, you just give like a bit of a lag time for healing or something so that they can get downed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I knew we said we were gonna rush through this. So for the last thing for me,
Mhm.
controversial thing, Zach mentioned running with a gun like this.
Yes.
Lots of people hate that because that is very, I believe, Apex.
It's very COD, it's not very armor, right? That's
Yeah,
the discussion that I've been hearing is like
yeah.
people want armor. Sorry, some people want armor, some people want COD. I want a game that exists.
I want, yeah,
Um,
like Chris's original vision
yeah,
was one thing, and it was Arma,
yeah,
not
yeah,
COD. So
yeah.
I want them to just kind of like stick to something. I
Hmm.
I'm not an FPS player. I do like what we have now. So
Hmm.
building upon what we have now is more COD than it is Arma. So maybe I
Yeah.
like COD more. So yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know.
think my perspective is I don't think it'll ruin people's experiences as much as they say it's going. So it's like
These people
I
are
think a lot of people are going to feel a lot better about it if
yeah,
the like in my head when I'm sprinting in Star Citizen, I don't feel like I'm going particularly fast.
yeah,
Those kinds of animations where it is like gun up here and all this sort of stuff, it does trick your brain into thinking that you're doing these sort of activities. Which guess what? That's immersion. When you trick your brain into doing that sort of stuff.
yeah. He
So
said it
I
like
don't think it's as
feels
much of an
better.
issue.
Yeah, and it was all
Exactly.
about
Yeah.
immersion aspects, and people are like, it's not immersive. Um,
Yeah.
I'm fine if it's just like a small gun and it does that, and if it's a big gun, it's like this. But maybe
Yeah.
they're on camera. He mentioned it quickly. It could just be a small
Hmm.
gun, because he also mentioned like when coming out of a sprint, you bring your gun up and then shoot. So like
Yeah.
he mentioned both being a thing. So I imagine
Hmm.
both are a thing. It just depends on the gun you're using. And if it's a
Yeah.
small gun,
Probably.
maybe that's okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, doesn't matter. And yes, there's another thing where somebody posted on Reddit that the U.S. Navy SEALs, who are some of like the most elite
Hmm.
um like military force in the world. Apparently, I'm American,
Yep.
so maybe we have the bias where they tell us that, and it isn't actually the case. But that is a thing that they train and do. That's how they run. So
Yep.
maybe that's why it came from COD.
Yeah.
Or went in COD. Yeah.
The
So
one last
go for it.
highlight.
Your last, yeah,
That ending where they do actually call Benoit
was funny.
to say, yeah,
Good
hey,
point. Yeah.
it was funny. And I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, let's get a deep dive into desync. I have an expectation that at least half of it is just because people are playing from all over the world into the wrong servers. But we'll see what the deep tech stuff is. Obviously, server issues are a problem with it, right? Because it usually gets worse over time.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like
yeah,
if they knew what
we'll
the
wait for that.
problem was, it would have been fixed already. Like if they knew
Well,
the
not if the
real
problem
root of the
is
problem.
people going into the servers when they shouldn't be, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So.
All right, next stuff. We got Patch Watch and Roadmap Roundup. Those were like non-existent things for the most part. Patch Watch has some stuff. Roadmap Roundup, I don't think is worth covering. You want to do Patch Watch?
Yes. In fact, just quickly looking at Roadmap Roundup, yeah, it's nothing
It's
that we
just
haven't
saying
already
everything's
talked about.
committed. That's it.
Yeah. I guess the one exception would be the size 3 neutron weapon, but that also was like talked about a little.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in the previous patch, but it didn't make it in because of time. So
yeah.
All right, let's
bring up
Patch Watch real quick. It's just a lot of things that we already know. Shield balance changes, armor changes that we talked about last week.
Talking about last week. Yep.
Yeah, life support. I think this is more going to be something that happens after these armor changes, where they're telling us we have to be in certain armors and stuff. Radar and detection changes we've talked lots about last week as well. But in this week, we actually have the ability to swap them out and see the difference. The only impactful one, I believe, is the military one, which extends your range of your assists and precision targeting stuff. Cross-section detection is very cool. Might be more stealthy builds. Cave scanning reliability, that's nothing new. They talked about that on SCL. The salvage contract one is the one worth talking about, in my opinion. We're both industrialist kind of players. And I both love and hate this. Reason I love it is, yes, we should have missions that have ships that have components on them that you can loot. So, for example, instead of the entry-level one being an arrow, for me, it was a Gladius. Gladius has all of its components that you can loot. Very cool. But at the same time, I wish there was more dynamic sandboxy things where you would go and find salvage instead of contract it. I hate the salvage contracts in many ways. Seems too simple, easy, safe. But yeah. So I don't know if you have anything to add there.
It's
yeah, nothing much. Right?
It's generally good changes, but I don't know if it's gonna make me do them yet. Still,
yeah. Mission balance, I'm still unsure about all this and how it works because they say it will no longer damage internal components inside of a ship. Missiles won't. Seems odd when guns do. The whole, I don't know. It just feels.
It does. I was saying this in chat today. It's missiles have been such a problem for this game ever since they got like introduced, right? Yeah. They are such a hard thing for CIG to figure out a way to both make feel good and be balanced.
Yeah, they'll work in a single player game, but in a multiplayer.
Yeah. So I really don't know what they need to do with missiles. They need to come up with something.
Yeah.
But...
yeah. I don't know, but it maybe this is it. Who knows?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like introduction of armor plus changing this, maybe, but like I still don't think they'll feel good. Is the problem? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then the doors and ramps. They're making it harder to open doors and ramps with FPS weapons. So pirates are crying, and everyone else is rejoicing. I think.
Well, it's at least they're not making them invulnerable.
No, they're making it just harder.
So it'd still be possible.
You're not doing it with like a
harder.
pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was a bit silly in the first place.
Exactly. Let's see. You want to go over the sales sneak peek?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get the monthly bundle. I love this. I think it's cool looking. I just love the rust aspect of it. It looks very cool. It's
Yep.
also
I'm a big fan of
$26, which is
any
insane.
armor that uses that that helmet. I'm super big fan.
Yeah, Morozov armor is
A lot
my
of them.
favorite. This color scheme is not my favorite. Green and gold is just
Mhm.
not for me, but the wear and tear is what I'm obsessing over.
Yeah.
I want to see more of this. Like, I want to see my armor be able to look like this. Whatever color I wear, I want it to eventually look like this if I never lose it and I go through a
Mhm.
lot, and I don't repair it or something like that. Or when it's
Yeah.
damaged, a damaged
Mhm.
state would look like this. And then they did the same thing with the Shiv. And I just, yeah, I'm obsessed with that. I think it looks so cool. So,
Yeah. Those are some
not
nice
buying
colors.
it though, because it's $26, and that's insane. But still can look at it. St. Patty's
Yeah.
Day. This is all you. I'm gonna let you because it's
Yeah,
all racing.
they're doing a big racing thing,
Yep.
which is very cool. Very very happy that they're pushing for it. I wish racing was in a slightly better state than it currently is,
Yeah.
but I'm happy for it. It also feels like in my head, there are a couple of CIG devs that I know for a fact love the racing community,
Sure.
but this in my head is like Chris came down for the Enter Atmo event and was like, "Hell yeah, that's cool as fuck. Let's get someone to organize an event for that."
Yeah, man.
Um,
And sell
so
some
pretty cool.
stuff.
Well, always sell some stuff. That's
I
just
hate
assumed.
Star Kitten. Like the
Oh man,
I hate it, but the fact
it's
that
one
they
of those
have
things, right?
yeah,
It's
you're
either
gonna
love or
love it or
hate.
you're gonna hate it. But
Yeah.
I love the fact that they have the like Kelto CTR bearing Microtech,
Hmm.
like the logos. Like it looks so
Yeah. Yeah.
NASCAR, Formula One racing car, like
Yeah.
all of them. They look so cool. So if they started doing that with the other ones, you would see me pick
Hmm.
up some of these paints. I think for sure.
Yeah.
Just not this
My
one.
my big thing my big thing with this event is I just hope it gets more people into racing, just in general. It's
Yeah,
certainly gotten more people into Arena Commander. So
I haven't done it
yeah,
yet. I have not done it.
I
I
also
need to
haven't
do
done
it.
it yet. I'm gonna have to jump in tomorrow
Yeah,
and get a
I
couple of
get.
tracks done.
I got to do that one. And then
Mhm.
sneak peek. A lot to talk about. A lot to unpack in here. Have you seen this yet?
Yes, it's a chair. Don't worry about it.
It's
That's all
not
it is.
just a chair. Yeah, it's
Nah, it's just a
not.
chair.
There's so much more.
Aurora Mark II.
Yeah. But I thought
Yeah.
last week was the Aurora Mark II.
What was last week's sneak peek? Let me have a
It
quick
was an
look.
Aurora, but it was the irregular Aurora. So it was like another version of the Mark
Oh
One.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh,
Hmm.
okay. So this
Variant?
is the Mark II.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them was a variant.
I don't know, but the other one had two doors. So you got to assume Mark II and this
Hmm.
one or Mark One, and then this is the Mark II where it's like, yeah, we don't need two doors, and using that other side for like functional stuff that other ships have makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So like kudos, love that.
Oh
Hey,
yeah. I just noticed that just now. I didn't even think about that. That you can see
yeah, one
the
door,
panel on the
dude.
left there.
One
Okay.
door on an Aurora. Like
Interesting.
there's one aspect of like that makes total sense, and then there's the
Mhm.
other aspect of wow, that's like an iconic piece of the Aurora that you're taking away. So interesting.
Yeah.
And then so you have the engineering, you have some other panels there. I think I can see a piece of a fire extinguisher. But
Hmm.
then if you look towards the back, they hide it, but it looks bigger. Like it looks like it has the a possibility of being bigger.
Maybe.
So yeah,
Maybe. That could be a perspective thing as well though.
it could be. So they're playing
Yeah.
with us. And then I hate the MFD placement. I always hated the Connie placement on the chair, and I hate that you're
Yeah.
doing this. So that's just not my
Where
style.
would you prefer the MFDs? Up
Where
or?
they were before. The Aurora 4 MFDs
Mhm.
lengthwise was one of my
Yeah.
favorite cockpits.
Mhm.
Favorite cockpits of all time in this game. Mark
Yeah.
1, they get rid of one of them on each side. Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't like it, but then now they do this. Hate you.
Okay.
You're ruining my baby. Makes me sad. Hate, 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 hate. All right, you want to get into our crafting? I'll
Yeah.
let you go. I'll
So
let you go on your rock breaker first.
yeah. So obviously we've talked a lot about crafting from the Evo patches, and we've talked a lot about inventory and all that sort of stuff. But this week was really rock breaker. This week was big rock breaker stuff. So we went into it today. Spent about 5 hours in there.
How many did you get done?
I am say again.
How many did you get done?
One.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But you,
Took us
yeah,
about
you
5
did
hours
you
to get one
so
done.
you had no but if you had no prior
No,
knowledge of what was
we had
going on.
no idea. All of us were doing it for the first time.
Oh, okay.
All we had
Same.
was like 2 people in chat to just be like, "Hey, if we miss something, tell us to go back."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. Nice. I had the
Which was
same
relevant.
experience, and I also
Yeah,
took about 5 hours to get it done, maybe even
yeah,
longer. So
yeah. So
understood.
with preparation, it feels like this would take like an hour, maybe 2
20
at the
minutes.
longest. 20 minutes. Oh, with how many people though?
8.
Because I guess that's the difference too.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
It's like splitting some jobs and stuff, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it felt so cool. First off, jumping in, I'm loving what they have been doing the last year with like mega structures.
Yeah,
Just like here are these
it's epic.
enormous locations
It's
when
an
like
epic
when you
entrance.
jump in, just it's a super overwhelming feeling. It's really really cool
Yep.
to see it. And then I think this one takes it a step further with the elevator that takes you in between all of the
Sure. I
refractors as well as some of the locations because
I
you
charged my
feel the
VR headset for
size.
this. I haven't done it yet, but I
Ooh,
want to. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be dope actually.
Yeah.
Um, so very cool. We took an exclusive, though I know that there's been lots of problems with like people spawn camping exclusives, not just like to kill other people, but just because the second you have a location, you can just like log there and come back
Yeah.
over and over again and just spam
Yep.
it. So lots of issues there, but we were fine. We didn't have any issues like that. So we were able to do the presumably intended PVE experience version.
Yep.
Um, uh, the environments inside were really cool. The like snowy cave area, which I was a little spoiled by watching your stream the other day, but I made sure to turn it off before I got too
Sorry.
spoiled.
Yeah.
Uh, I couldn't help myself. Uh, was super super cool, right? Um, uh, the sort of you know how people talk about like the what is it the yellow paint to like tell people where to go and stuff.
Mhm.
Whatever that is called, like the environment. Not it's not environmental storytelling, but like the environment kind of telling you what
Hints?
you need to do.
Yeah, environmental
Yeah, the
hints
hints that you
maybe?
just get from just like looking at some signs and all this sort of stuff was really cool. So, for example, you've got like next to some of the terminals, there's like here's the checklist for
Yep.
mining Rockbreaker,
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
like, okay, cool. I have to, and it's done like in lore, but it's like, all right, cool. So I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. That was awesome. It helped a lot, so it was very cool. The enemies.
I see why it's
First
taking
off,
you 5 hours.
yeah,
You're trying you're trying to
this
climb up on this damn
that one
rock.
annoyed the crap out of me because there's a stairway. So I was like, oh, so there's something down there.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there
No,
was nothing down
there's
there.
nothing there.
Anyways,
I think that's for, like,
um,
missions and stuff, lost
yeah,
players.
we definitely did get lost a lot in
Yeah.
the first
Oh,
playthrough, but it was
still
kind of
getting
cool
lost.
because it was like you get lost, but there's a lot to it, right? There's a lot of like random mining rooms for you to just get some aphrite and whatnot that you can get lost in.
Yep.
So all of that was very cool. Lots of places to explore.
What'd you think of the
But I never felt
NPCs,
yeah.
the sounds and stuff?
So that was what I was gonna say. So
Yeah.
the new faction, which I don't remember the name of, this isn't the Blade guys though. I think this is a different faction.
Yeah, I don't know who these
Um,
guys are, but they are
they're
very
like
unique.
they're super neat. They got like weird little robot voices, or like
Yep.
their voices being filtered through like
Mhm.
some sort of thing. That was really interesting and makes me want to learn more about them. So hopefully we, well, I mean, I'm sure we will, but like I really want to learn more about these guys and see what their deal
Same.
is.
First
Um,
first faction I've ever
yeah,
felt that way about.
I think I think the guys at the Vandal place, I think they were the first faction I felt about that, but that was also like 2 months ago. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's sort of similar way.
Yeah.
Um, so very cool. And then yeah, it did feel like they said that this was supposed to be a 4-person style mission. That felt correct.
Mhm.
I didn't feel too like we had 3 people, didn't feel crazy overwhelmed at any point. But also didn't feel like we had like too many cooks in the pot or anything like that. So I think they've balanced that really well. Um, Having the aphrite in the location as well, so you have like this reward that you can go for as you're going, felt really good. Like I found an 886
Hell yeah.
couple of rocks of aphrite almost immediately, and I was like, sweet. I already feel like this is worth what I've done. right? I
Yeah.
already feel accomplished here, and there's more to go. Um, yeah, I had an absolute blast. The only problem that I had was the refractors or whatever they're called, the
I had
like
the
getting the
same
extra
problem.
lasers.
Yeah.
They didn't work.
So you were stuck at
So
40%, like we were.
yes,
Yeah.
correct. Which I also love that as a mechanic. Of like, if you really want to press the button right now, like you're short for time, or you've been like in PvP a bunch and you know that you can't like risk another fight, you can just crack it now, get it, and get out.
Yeah.
For less efficiency, that is awesome. I'm a super big fan of that. But I would love to see what it actually looks like at 100%. Which I had someone in chat tell me that when they did it at 100%, some of the rocks that they had inside the asteroid were like 800 plus quality.
Yeah, that's not it though. So it
Okay,
doesn't
so it's
it
just
doesn't
random.
change the quality. So there's
Yeah.
I was very lucky to have Sam, the one that was in the back on SCL, be
Hmm.
in the chat and kind of talk me through some of this stuff, because I
Yeah.
did not like the reward structure here. But
Mhm.
again, it's exclusive, and like I said, 20 minutes it took us. So if we're able to repeat it that
Yeah.
easily and it's exclusive with no risk, the rewards probably shouldn't be that good. But I hated the idea that it was Torite, and I don't hate the idea of Ceruleum, but Torite is like finding iron in Stanton, right? It's like very easy to
Yeah.
find. So I'll find 900 quality out in the world if I want to, and with probably less effort. But
Hmm.
the how the rewards work is the higher the yield you go, more
Hmm.
rooms open inside the rock.
That's what I
So
thought was the case.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because
all
I
it
could
is.
see
It doesn't up your
signatures.
quality.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I could see signatures of Torite and stuff, but like I was blocked. So that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so that'll open up those doors. So even if you
Hmm.
press it, you're still going to get a guaranteed Ceruleum, it looks like, and it's
Yeah.
not a lot, but you don't need a lot to craft things. Like I think one SCU, we were
Hmm.
we were just talking with Frozander, who's in chat now, and he was doing the math, and it's like I can make 32 guns with one SCU of Ceruleum, right? So
Yeah.
that's
After refining the like, I think it was like 5 SCU we had. I was able to make like 10 pieces of armor or something,
yeah,
something along those
and then
lines. So
armor as
it was quite
well.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Love the ambience. I love the NPCs. The puzzle's really
Mhm.
cool. We did
Yeah.
get the 100%, but I don't know if it was because we did it in a certain order or if because we just got lucky and it was a good location that
Yeah.
was working. But they know the issue and they're on it. They're
Yeah.
working on it and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, better or worse than Hathor for you? All right, here you've already mined it.
It's
So
different, right? Hathor, like I have not experienced the shared, which like that should theoretically have more associations to Hathor than the exclusive should.
yeah,
Um, this is more to me akin to Onyx facilities, but the reward is mining.
yeah.
Um, and
And I think
I'll
you're
put in a
thinking
couple
about
of
it the right
camps.
way.
Yeah, yeah. So in a couple of camps, the FPS experience was great. Felt great. Loved the level design of all the areas. The ambiance of the location is insanely cool.
This was such a cool
That is a
aspect that you're on
yes.
right
The
now.
monorail is so dope. Rip if you use the wrong monorail and you don't get to see all the worms come out and you get to have a cool moment there.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. But yeah. So the ambiance when you're like going through that, or you're the first time you go into the power core and then you go into the caves and you see the worms and stuff. It's such a cool experience.
Yeah, the
I
little
think
spider
that stuff
miners.
is a leg up above Onyx.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
uh, and then you kind of do get the Hathor laser moment as
Yeah.
well, but I didn't because I didn't get all the refractors. If you don't get the refractors, it doesn't feel anywhere near as cool. It's just a
Really?
single
Okay.
laser. Um, but yeah, it was dope. The main complaint I had about it at the end of it, other than like, God damn it, of course it's bugged, and can we please stop using keys and stuff for everything all the time?
Yeah.
Um, was I loved it. Am I gonna love grinding? And I think the big thing from this, I
It's
don't
not much
think.
grind.
Well, it's not that it's not much grind. Once again, you did it with 8 people in 20 minutes. I think with 4 people, it is going to be closer to that hour, especially once you mine everything.
Yeah.
Um,
But you only have to do it maybe once a week.
well,
And you're
it
crafting a
depends,
bunch
right?
of
If
stuff.
you're trying to sell the stuff that you're crafting,
Fair.
theoretically you'll be doing it a lot more, right?
Yeah.
But even then, I was like, am I going to enjoy grinding it? I think I still will, because if the rewards let me craft stuff I want to craft, right? That's the biggest
The reward is the
thing.
sale at the end to some other player usually, and
Yeah,
that makes
it's the
whatever
process.
garbage grind might be in front of you very rewarding. I mean, our entire
Yeah.
org has been built on doing things people don't want to do
Mhm.
and feeling rewarded because you sold it to
Yeah.
somebody. And it works for me, and it seems to be working for
Mhm.
everybody else there. And
Yeah.
this is a one, like, besides Hathor, this is the
Mhm.
most repeatable thing I've done so far. I feel like the Apex Valakar should be, but it's had so many weird
Sure.
problems and overspawning and goofy stuff with it that has hurt it.
I think it also, even just like when you add in some lore aspects, this feels like something that should be grindable in
Yeah.
the world, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no like actual lore tied to it. Whereas like the Onyx facilities, and when I say these, I mean like I keep calling them the Onyx facilities, but I'm talking about like the
ASD.
uh, ASD. Thank you.
Yep.
The ASD facilities, is like there's a story tied to it in the whole thing. So it's like, yeah, you can grind it, and like you have to grind it for a couple of things. But every time you keep getting into that last room, oh, you've finally come to my lair. I'm going to go. Like it's like I've heard this guy say this so many
Yeah,
times
and
now.
it was so
Yeah,
underwhelming that, like, the fact that they moved on from
yeah,
that in that way was so disappointing.
yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah, so
the only other thing here that I'd like to add is, again, I was really lucky
mhm,
to have that Devin in the chat, and I was complaining a lot, and he was trying to defend it a little bit, and
mhm,
I think deservedly so. It's because it was more of just me. We only ever hit 40% at that time, and we
yeah,
weren't sure. And I'm like, I'm not complaining. I just here are my two critiques of it. This is just feedback.
mhm.
Is at CitizenCon, same guy gets on stage and goes, "If you love mining, there's going to be a shit ton of minerals here." And there's two.
Which there's oh
But
sorry,
there's
yeah,
two
yeah, yeah.
types,
There's not
right?
much yeah, there's not much
Yeah.
variant.
So, like,
There's
the
a lot of
variety
hand
would be
mining,
more
but it's
fun.
all
All
yeah. There's a lot of hand
Aphorite.
mining, but it's all Aphorite.
Yeah.
Um, and then like yeah, as you mentioned, the two minerals that you do get from the rock, one of them not super relevant,
Yeah.
and so it's like you could do more with this, right? Like you could add more to the table to make this just a little bit more,
Yes.
little bit more interesting.
Yeah. So it feels underwhelming because, like, all right, you get your Hathor like laser, right? But then when you go
Mhm.
into the into the Hathor hole, it's, is there pure Karenite?
Yeah.
And when you get it, it's like, yes. And it's like there's guaranteed ceruleum. And
Hmm.
now it's, are you getting the big jolt of of I don't know, like, excitement when you get a
Hmm.
high quality one? Probably, but it
Yeah.
happens so infrequently because,
Mm.
like, the quality in there was just not great. So I was complaining a lot, right? So Dev said, his name is Sam. He says, all right, we upped the minimum quality inside the
Hmm.
exclusive and contested one. Okay, cool. But not the top side. So just the minimum, and that's
Hmm.
fine. Uh, but then the other thing that a lot of people don't know, so this is not public knowledge, but it is because he said it publicly in my chat, is that
Yeah. Yeah.
this is the best I got, is in the contested version, we're talking about doing something different. That's it.
Okay.
We're talking about doing something different. Not better, not worse, not this, not that, just
Well,
different was what he said.
I hope it would not be.
I hope
We
it
need to
wouldn't be
make it
worse.
worse, guys.
Yeah.
We gotta make this mission suck.
Yeah, obviously
Um,
not. But, like,
yeah,
yeah. So just
because
different. So
that's
whatever
the thing
different
as well. Is
means,
like
we'll see
in terms
if
of
they do it.
rewards, the only difference between the two is that one costs less to get the thing, right?
Correct. And what I said
Yeah,
to him was, oh, nice. Nice timing.
yeah,
That's why your refractors didn't work, by the way. Um
yeah.
the the oh, well, oh, the price. The Star Citizen economy team really loves to think that they decide the value of stuff, but we
Mhm.
decide the value of stuff. So
Yeah.
we're going to determine how much Ceruleum is actually worth. And since this is
Mhm.
incredibly easy to grind with a decent sized group, even with a group your size, once you know what to
Yeah.
do, you're going to fire right through it.
Yeah, it'll be a lot faster.
Yeah, it'll be very fast. I think you'll do it in under an hour for sure.
Mhm.
The the Ceruleum prices are not going to be there. So the value of going to for 850K may not be worth it, or
Mhm.
they don't wipe in 4.7 and we have a huge, um, still a huge amount of inflation. And then
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And then the price is kind of irrelevant.
Exactly. So,
Because like the part of the economy where people are going to want to craft stuff, which is obviously a brand new thing,
yeah.
and we have bonuses to things that we never used to have bonuses for. Of course, people are going to value that stuff, but money's just going to still be irrelevant.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, so I never looked at the outside. So when you don't do the refractors, it doesn't go around. The only time
Yeah,
I
so
looked
it's
at the
just
outside is when
one
we did it
laser at the
right.
front,
Got it. Okay.
which
Makes
was
sense.
really underwhelming, but that's
Yeah,
kind of
you're
what happens.
look at you're like, oh.
So
But yeah, I never saw it from this
that's why I was like, I
perspective.
can see that there's a Hathor moment, but I feel
Yeah.
like it only happens if you get all refractors.
The Hathor moment is inside. Have you seen it from the inside
Uh,
yet?
I haven't seen it from the inside, but the person who like activated it was describing it, and it was like, yeah, all the sirens go off, and the sounds of the laser charging off,
Did he tell you
which
about the
sounds
the
very much like
mirrors?
Hathor at the top.
Did he tell you
No,
about the mirrors? I don't want to. So just
okay,
go from the inside and watch it.
yeah,
Um,
I'll press it next time.
yeah, like watch it from that perspective.
Mhm.
It's a cool little touch to it, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil that for you, but
Hmm.
yeah. So like I've said everything I want to say about it. I think it's fun. I'm gonna do it. I don't want to do it that often because I don't
Hmm.
find the rewards to be super fantastic. But um, crafting. You haven't done much
Yeah.
or any? Have you done any
I,
mining?
I we did this rock breaker, and then we used that resources plus a bunch of scrapped stuff to craft some armor.
Yeah.
As well as I got like two blueprints before we started, or like when we started, as we were waiting for everyone to get together.
Yeah.
Which first off, so much like the idea of getting a blueprint reward for a mission makes me want to do missions so much more. So good job. Um,
Wait till they
uh,
break.
oh, for sure. But there was at least it was like you're giving me an incentive. It's an incentive that I'm enjoying. Awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
and then yeah, so we crafted some armor, but we think it was bugged. So we had some 562 Ceruleum,
Uh-huh.
and then we just had chaff 500 quality, other stuff,
Mhm.
and then the armor value went down. So it wasn't a great determination. It when I like when you like hover over the or like click the item, it tells you what it's modifying.
Yeah.
It told me the Ceruleum was modifying the armor quality in the green, but it was plus 0.0%. And then
Okay.
the I think it was the aura fight or whatever
Or a
was
type, yeah.
500 quality, aura type was 500 quality, and it gave it minus 0.1%. So we ended up with 39% armor mitigation on a heavy armor.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's rough.
Um, so I think that's bugged in that particular case.
I'm showing
But
another
every
fun bug.
time,
Can you
oh,
see
I'm
it?
excited for that. Not right now. I can't. No.
Look at Hephaestonite in the composition.
My quality that I'm looking at is way too low for me to tell what
You
that actually says.
you cannot see the number because
Oh, it's a
Hephaestonite is overlaid over it.
this was I mean, this was a bug in the like Evo. This is
Yeah,
although actually the Evo one was worse because there was just like random text in front of
I messaged Torsten. I try not to bother anybody, but I was like, dude,
yeah,
I this one is very funny. So
yeah.
here's a little look see at this one, and he was like, I'll look at it on Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully that one gets resolved. But yeah, that was one where it didn't happen to me a couple days ago, but it's happening to me
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
Because I thought this was 815 quality. It's 315.
Aw.
Or
Which,
whatever it is.
because we haven't mentioned it, one of the changes this week
Let's
was
talk
the
about it.
quality.
Yeah, or
So
265. That's what this one is.
previously, all quality above 0% gave bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
As little as they are. Now it is 500 is the midpoint, Anything less, you get a minus. Anything more, you get a bonus.
Which is why I think you're like plus 0.00%. I think it goes on like a curve. Where like
I'm sure it does. I'm
when
sure
you
it
hit
does.
900,
The
it's
bug
like,
was
bam.
the bug was with the 500 giving me a negative. That should happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am a big fan of this, and the reason for that, you're already going to be searching for 800 plus anyway, regardless of the two systems. People are going to be looking for the highest of the high end, right?
Yeah, but let me tell you,
like the idea
today.
Yeah.
I was going 600 plus because I couldn't find anything. I looked at so many tungsten rocks, and gold was really hard to find. So I was like, I got to take something over 500. I have like, you don't like, one of the biggest changes is you don't fill your mining hold that quickly. So when you come across something of like 650, when you haven't seen anything in forever, you're kind of like, okay,
I'll take it. Yeah,
I'll take it, I guess.
So
I want to craft something.
I'm a big fan of like some things that you modify on your weapons aren't going to be as relevant, and you may be willing to accept like a 300, 200 quality or whatever rock for a certain particular aspect of whatever weapon armor you're making.
Yeah.
As long as the thing that is important to the player, the thing that is important to the buyer, or you are getting your high quality material.
Yeah.
I think I'm a big fan of that. I like that a lot. I want them to play around with it more, for sure. And then, like chat just said, they also introduced ammo. So, like, if you ammo at the moment doesn't
and
have
I'm showing, I'm
changes,
crafting it right now on screen. Perfect timing.
So you can just throw your chaff minerals at your ammo, and you can make that. So I'm a big fan of that changing. It's still early as well though. I want to see how this actually impacts my gameplay as I'm trying to make super high quality, all maximum, well not maximum, but like close to maximum as I can certain items and whatnot. If I start to get really annoyed at continually seeing like 200 quality items, yeah, but it was a big difference this week.
Yeah, for sure. What you're seeing me do now is craft ammo, but what you're gonna see me do is I crafted two guns, one with negative stats, one with positive, and like 700 quality stats. And there's like a difference, man, and that's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I think here I just asked chat, which gun do you think is which? And it's gonna be hard because you can't hear, because the big difference was the sound, like the rate of fire.
Yeah.
And then like that's the negative one, and that's what I made was negative.
Like you can tell it's half red.
Yeah, I put the lowest quality stuff I could put in there, and then that was the good gun. And it was like, pretty impactful difference, and it was very cool. I like, another thing about the ammo is that you can bulk make anything, so it lets you make like 6 to 10 magazines at a time, and it doesn't take a lot of stuff. So like, when I was talking to some orgs, it was like, all right, well, like, what do you want? So I was like they were like, all right, let's do stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, I have to ask you the questions then of what you're looking for, so we can figure out what we do. And so I was like, all right, well, like, what guns are you looking for? How many do you want? What's your minimum quality that you want? And I also said, how much ammo do you want? And they were like, oh, we don't really need ammo. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to charge you for it. It's just like something that I could throw in there as like a nice gesture, like in your little bundle of like, here's 5,000 ammo as well, or something, because we're going to have a bunch of scraps potentially. Like, we can go and loot a bunch of bunkers and dismantle and then make ammo with it. It might give us something to do. So very cool. Love this aspect. How long will this last? It is whatever. May not last that long in this patch. May not be that exciting for that long. It'll be exciting for longer than any other patch has been for me. That's for sure. But except for maybe chasing the,
because there's so much to explore now. Like, even just like adding in all the blueprints, I now have so much work to go through to just get ready to play this patch. Like the first few days or whatever is going to be a lot of work just starting to.
Got to get the blueprints. Got to get the ore. Got to get the find somebody to buy the stuff. So it's that's why I was like, let me find the buyers first. Find out what they want. That way we'll know what blueprints we go for, and
Mhm.
then we go for the minerals.
Yep.
So I'm
And now
excited for it.
there's only one part completely missing from this, which is let us lose this stuff so that I have a reason to
Yes.
continue making it.
Yes. And I'm fine
So
with
that
that not being in this
yeah.
patch. That is
Yep,
totally
that's
okay.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. But
But
like
you're
a couple of patches in with no wipe and continuing to craft stuff,
no,
you're not
you
gonna have
won't.
any buyers.
Yeah, you won't
So
be continuing to craft stuff. You'll just do it by yourself.
yeah,
And also the idea of having lost will create the reason for less than 900 plus quality guns, armors,
yeah,
things like that. Because
yeah. Like
you will
you will
eventually find
purchase
it.
yeah, you will purchase garbage tier P4s because they're cheap and you know you're gonna die 12 times
Yeah. But they're
in like
also
an upcoming encounter.
not garbage tier because they're better than the base P4, which you had been using forever. So it's like it's still
Well,
better than what you
not
had.
the below 500s because the store boughts
No,
are all 500 now.
correct, correct. I mean above 500. Like garbage tier
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
being 6, 7,
Oh yeah.
800 in
No,
that
yeah, I'm
case.
saying like I'm buying 200 quality P4s if I know I'm dying a ton of times. I'm paying 1 UEC per P4.
But I think you
You
get
know,
the base one if you buy it from an NPC is what I mean.
too expensive.
No, it's not.
I'm buying it from a player for 1 UEC.
Oh, 1
That's what I'm
UEC.
saying.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
I'm getting real big discounts because someone mined way too much 200 quality iron. And I'll buy 800 of these P4s once again
Yeah,
if I'm losing them. You know,
yeah. But
but yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Everything they've talked about is not the way that's going, but
Yeah.
I think they're gonna find that they're gonna need to do something like this. Oh,
Mhm.
look at the ore in the thing.
Yeah.
So they don't do the boxes anymore. Like
Mhm.
it looks like ore from EVE Online or from other games.
Yeah.
Like love it, love it. Like it's very distinct, very easy to tell which is which.
Mhm.
You could tell what's like rocky ore versus like what's like crystals and things like that. Like a
Yeah.
corundum is a pink crystal. Who knew?
Mhm.
So yeah, there's some cool stuff there like that. And
Speaking of inventory, really quickly,
say it. I know
uh,
you're gonna say it.
maybe my one major complaint now,
Oh,
having
not a
experienced it a
complaint.
little bit, is please, dear God, remove the goddamn descriptions every time I hover over a weapon, especially because it'll show the entire lore of how this weapon came to be, and then underneath it is the P4 that I've got equipped with its entire lore of how the P4 exists. I
At
don't
least have it
need that
show up
gumming
when
up
you
my entire screen.
yeah, like have it you have to sit on it for a while to see it. That's how like
Yeah,
Eco,
or
another game I play
give me
does. You
a
gotta hold it.
give me a yeah, give me a click, give me a like hold control or something to see that. It takes up way too much of the screen. You cannot see what you are doing. That just it needs to be removed.
Yeah.
What about
Um
my immersion? When have you ever picked up an item and it's given you a 3-paragraph description about what it is? Hello, I am a Pepsi can. The Pepsi can was invented by Mr. Pepsi Max. Anyway. Anyway.
um my non-complaint is that
Yeah.
gems stack
Yes.
with
Huge.
quality, with quality.
Yeah.
That was like
Huge.
the Friday patch. It was like
Hmm.
hell yeah. My
Yeah.
complaints and my biggest what's your okay, let's do this. This is probably a good
Hmm.
place to end our part and get to callers, I think at least. What's your biggest excitement piece and what's your biggest fear that can happen with 4.7?
Well, like I'm excited for like what my gameplay is going to be for the next like month.
Sure. I probably agree.
Of
I'll say the same thing for that for me
yeah,
as well.
it's getting for the first
Finally have
time
something to do.
to exactly and have something that also feels like progression
Yep.
in like we've had it a little bit with some of the stuff from last year, but once again we're getting more of these sort of systems where it's like I feel like once I've crafted a 700 quality, the next goal, craft an 800 quality, craft a 9, you know, like you have these sort of goals that you can make for yourself now through the
Mm.
crafting. And then being able to have social interactions with people that in an MMO, crazy, that are like actually involving the systems in the game. So
Yeah.
that's my biggest excitement for it. Um, I don't know.
I have one
I
massive
don't know what
fear.
I'm worried about, except for like Rock Breaker just being too easy to exploit. That's probably my only issue
You're gonna go,
in that regard.
oh yeah, and agree with
Yeah.
me when I say this. every single patch,
Hmm.
we have lost our blueprints. Every single patch, if we had ore and we kept it, it was 0 quality.
Hmm.
Every single patch, we have lost our materials.
Is that not normally the case with PTUs?
It is not normally the
Like
case for
losing.
PTUs.
Like I remember losing a lot of like mission progress. I would lose like every PTU
No, I'll even
patch.
tell you
Like,
that through the PTUs that we've done, I
mhm.
kept gems in some of them and lost gems in others.
Okay,
And
okay.
the best one was my gems were 0 quality. I
Mhm.
brought them up a freight elevator and sent them back down, and they were not the quality in which I mined. They were each individual one was a random quality,
Mm.
just random, and was like, whoa.
Yeah,
That the my biggest fear is not 4.7. It's
it's
4.7 to
like
4.8.
4.8 or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that the grind for blueprints is a grind for blueprints, whether
yeah,
you enjoy it or not. It's a grind. But I do want
yeah.
to point out something in chat for you. You could turn off the tooltips in the inventory, top right. Apparently, that's
Oh,
what chat says. So check it out when you get in there,
cool.
and let me know.
That should be default off. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you should turn it on and not turn it off. But um, but yeah,
But good to know. Thank you.
yeah,
Um,
best patch ever in
uh,
my opinion.
yeah.
Best patch I've never been more excited. I've never played
It's
Star
because it's like
Citizen
the
more.
best feature. It's like one of the best features they've ever come up with, I think. And at least this tier 0 version of crafting
It's the one I've been crying
feels
for
pretty good.
years.
Yeah. So excited to see where they go with this as well. They've got the foundations, obviously, for the additional tiers. There's a
Hmm.
couple of other bits in it, like your suits display EVA fuel at the moment. So some of the stuff that they're
Oh,
probably talking about in
nice.
SCL, probably not too far away from coming out because there is no EVA fuel at the moment. So every armor piece just says 0%. But the fact that it's there means it's probably coming up soon. And that is a good point. My actual biggest fear might be
The
probably what I'm going
character.
to have to do next week, which is use your character that you
Yeah.
make for me for all of 4.7.
I don't know.
Because
People
I
people
didn't believe that CIG would release crafting this patch.
yeah, and people keep coming in my chat going, "Are you going to make Croncy's character today?" And I'm like, "Guys, I just want to craft. I will do it, I promise, but I just want to craft something." And it is a long process when you're doing it by yourself. It's a long process when you're doing it
Yep.
with a group. So,
Mhm.
I will get to it. I will get to it this
Yep.
week, early this week, and it is going to be a
Especially
monstrosity.
because like we're open wave as of yesterday.
Correct.
Well,
So it's
yesterday for
time.
me.
It's
So
time to get to it.
it'll be probably look maybe the end of the week. We'll see. They've had a couple of long open PG patches here, but
Yeah.
maybe the end of the week might be in live.
Yep. Yep. All right, you ready to go to callers?
Let's do it. And if you want to call in the future to answer the call, make sure to go in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube, go to the podcast link and go to the green room. Get ready to talk about everything you want to talk about. If you are over on Twitch watching currently, you can go !podcast in Mike's chat, and then follow the link there.
Hell yeah. All right. We got Space Monkey. He is here. Do I have everything
Hello.
working? I do. Okay, cool.
How
Hello.
we doing, Space?
Good, good. I'm in your team, Croncy, when it comes to Slay the Spire 2. So
It's
fantastic.
been so much fun. Did you play the first one?
No, no.
Neither did I. And I regret it. It is such an absolute
Yeah,
banger game. It's very fun.
I saw some streams from some
Mhm.
people I watch on Twitch, but I never played it. And
Yeah.
now, since the big success, I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I need to try it.
It
It's
was a
really awesome.
fairly popular Twitch game back in the day, like in the early
was.
Yeah,
days
it
of
was.
Twitch.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like 500,000 players, like 10 times the amount of Star
Yeah.
Citizen.
I'm also
Probably.
surprised I didn't play it. It's a deck builder. I'm all about that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to talk mainly about crafting, and I have some
Mhm.
questions regarding that. But first question or first thing would be the inventory. You
Mhm.
didn't really talk about that, but for me it looks pretty good. I mean, visually, and there are some minor flaws, but in general it's good.
Yep.
But it still doesn't feel. I mean, I play a lot of Arc Raiders and so, and all the other shooters. Still doesn't feel snappy enough. I don't know how you think about it.
It still doesn't feel, not that Star Citizen is necessarily polished, but like in a
Yeah,
visuals perspective, Star Citizen can be very polished, and it still doesn't feel up to that stage.
At
None of
all.
the inventory system ever has. Like the shops never have. The
No.
Moby-Glass kinda gets there. I would argue even like the quick loot inventory kind of is in that realm too. They've always been in a weird spot. That does bring up something I wanted to mention though, which is in the crafting UI. The items are just way too dark. Just
Okay.
I don't know. It's just weird. It just looks like I can't really tell what I'm crafting half the time.
You mean left,
And that's
the
obviously an
left
issue.
pan, or what? The left
Yeah.
pan, or the right,
The
where you
blueprints
see
page.
the
The left
items?
hand. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
little
it's just
like before you get
it
on the
seems-
main blueprint crafting page, the blueprint page where you're looking for, you can't tell
Yeah.
what item it is, and it doesn't have a name on it, so you have to know where you're clicking.
Yeah.
The guns are easier
then
to
it's
tell, but the
also-
armors are
it's-
very difficult.
It's also like it's a dark background, and then the items themselves have a dark background above
Yeah.
the dark background.
Yeah.
And then the
I didn't
actual
think of that.
item isn't very lit up. It's just like you've missed something here. I don't know. That, you know.
Yeah, it's also a lot of gray, at least in the
Yeah.
main menus. The only one who sticks out for me is the refining UI. That's a bit more colorful.
The refining UI I would also say is actually like pretty
readable.
pretty solid. I think they did a good job with it.
Pleasing for the eye because the colors are diverse and stick out, and maybe that's a lesson where they could learn from.
I think the biggest advantage is because there's no icons of 3D images that you have to try to figure out when you use the refining.
It's like, I don't
Very
know.
low tech.
If it's necessary to I don't know, take a screenshot of the 3D item and just do it in a 2D. Do it,
We
please.
said that like every week this week, right?
Yeah.
Right? I will say the item images looked like they loaded a lot faster for me in the
That's true.
in the PTU, but still
when
a
I
lot
hit
more if you
I,
did them.
it still loads incredibly slow.
It's slower than it needs to be.
It's slower than it should be. But when I loot and move things between inventories, it's very snappy.
Yeah.
True.
So.
But what disturbs me a bit when you hover over with the mouse and the items get highlighted, that feels really delayed. And that also contributes to the fact it doesn't feel that snappy for me, because like hovering over and a second or so later, or maybe not a second, but later that I would expect it gets highlighted. So it feels like slowish kind of.
Yeah. Crafting?
Then crafting, exactly. So I did like a little deep dive. I mean, I would say the system is like a resource quality system. At least that's what ChatGPT spits out if I just do a little research in that direction.
That's not research.
Kinda. Come on.
Come on, guys.
because I asked ChatGPT what other games
That's
had a
it.
similar.
Croncy no longer on the podcast. Croncy AI coming next week.
No, I just asked if other games, because I'm not that big of an MMO player, use that system, because all of the stuff we see right now is like, except what you said with the gems are stackable. So I did not try this. I tried it a little bit. But when you unstack it, are you having the option to say, okay, like filter me out that item quality off the stack, or how does it work? Like with the gems.
Okay, so stacking, you stack only of the quality. It was so bad before that gems, you would have 15,902 gems. Now you have one stack of 15,902 gems.
Okay.
But if you have a 901 set of gems,
like
you have another stack.
100 of different qualities.
Correct.
Okay.
But now that they group all together, that like with the same then and I could confirm this too, which is pretty cool, was I found 2 tungstens today on 2 different rocks that were 666, and they did combine in my prospector. So it didn't make like a second one of those. So it did add to that. So it's not like there's decimal points behind the scenes that we don't know about. So yeah, that was that's that part. So like for me, I was just gonna say that like I could totally see myself having 3 or 4 boxes of gems of quality types.
Okay.
Like ranges or whatever.
Because
but
when
probably
you do
less
the
now with the
research-
changes.
Okay, when you do the research, a lot of those systems who were in place before in those MMOs got changed because of three things. The inventory gets, I mean, full of this stuff, and you lose the oversight. The
Just
second
look up
is,
Star Wars Galaxies. That's if you want to do
yeah,
research,
that
look that up.
that that is the only positive thing
Yeah.
or only positive example where I say, okay, that system was very successful. A lot of player praised it. Morph praises it in his videos. So, but the others failed with that. So I thought, okay, is it really necessary to have the range from 1 to 1000? How about changing it from 1 to 100 to eliminate a little bit? I don't know how you feel about that.
It
Time will
makes no
tell, maybe.
difference. It's 1 to 1000 to remove like the need for decimal points, I feel like.
But then you have, I mean, less stacks at the end, maybe. I mean,
But then you constantly find ones and twos all day, and I'm way. It's way more fun to find a 650 than it is to constantly find 60
56
or 50.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
so,
true. I mean,
so like,
bigger numbers.
you have more
where you're, like,
options. Yeah, like a 650 is the same as a 670 is the same as a 680, but it all feels better. I don't know. Bigger number is better.
It definitely. Right? I don't know if it feels better at those levels, but at like the higher levels for sure. Like,
yeah.
There's
I'll
a certain
explain
area
it
where it's
quickly.
like if you go to 900, yeah, that's 90.
Yeah.
A 9 like getting to like a 950, that's the highest I've ever gotten. Getting to a 951 would even make me excited after that, right? Like I would be like, holy crap, I've beaten my thing by like 1.
Yeah,
It's
bigger
negligible
number
for the
equals
crafting.
good.
Yeah,
but
I don't
like,
get hyped,
yeah.
but you always feel like, all right, it's better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's definitely an argument for it. I still think I am of the opinion that they should bring down the quality numbers, just because I think the inventory issues with it are too much of an annoyance. But
Maybe,
I also have not mined enough for that to be a problem yet. So we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe if you could stack it, and then if you unstack it, can filter out the quality you want. That would be an interesting. But I don't know if they can.
But here's the thing: when you go craft, it goes like you have you pull it in, pull it in, or you can choose worst quality, best quality at the top. So most likely you're always going to just choose best quality. So like it's going to be in a container. It's good. Like it can't be. I imagine one thing I haven't tested is, can I put it in a container in my inventory and craft from it? I'm sure somebody did in chat, and they're going to say no, which will suck.
Interesting.
But you know, if you could choose the container, then you go to your 900 quality container and you just say choose best and choose best, choose best, choose best, and just go down the list. But I don't think it's going to be as big of a problem when you can search, you can filter, and you have all the other options that those
searching
old
solves a lot of that
MMOs did not have.
Can you search for the quality level? Can you search like 850 or?
No, but you could search for the mineral, and trust me, you're not going to be gathering. You're going to be searching for certain things, so you're not going to be gathering 300. It's just there to like waste your time. For right now.
All right, maybe time will tell.
Yeah.
One other aspect was it gets really hard to balance, but that's also hard to tell at the moment.
Yeah.
But one other thing I found interesting, which is not in yet, is how you think about creating a sync with crafting if the crafting fails, if you like do a craft and it doesn't work, or the item gets destroyed.
I don't want RNG. I think there's enough RNG with finding stuff. I would rather a sync be like, every time you create a bearing gun, you are paying a licensing fee to bearing to create it. And the more better reputation you have with bearing, the lower that licensing fee is.
Yeah, I like that.
But it's only a money sync, not a material sync, though.
Correct, but
as long as
if you play the game and the game is good, then the money sync will be a material sync because you'll be using your money to buy materials. Because there should be no way that an individual is able to gather everything and become an epically huge crafter by themselves. If it's a good game, we'll need to rely on each other, which means we'll need to trade with each other, which means we'll need money, right? So if the game's good, that shouldn't be an issue. is how I look at it, at least. But Space, we've been going for a little while, so one last thing
Mm-hmm.
before you go.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, I would say we also need like PvP experiences where you need high quality items to successfully do it. Not only on PvE side. I would like hope for that.
I think
Yeah, I hope they both exist.
Yeah,
a
and
PvP experience where you need high quality items
Always
I
exists.
mean,
would just be PvP.
it's always.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like,
no, I mean,
if you
I
have
said
the
PvE.
quality gun, you have a one up of me, right? So that's
No, I mean,
already you want
besides
to
that.
have the highest quality all the time.
No, I meant PvE. PvP, it's clear. I mean, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
PvE, yeah. I would love to see like
Like you can't
and this will
damage
probably
the
happen.
Apex Valacar unless you are at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Well,
that,
something like that.
or massive damage mitigation if you're not using higher quality stuff. When they bring in the armor changes, you can do
Yeah,
stuff
radiation.
with
You
that as
got
well,
to
right?
boost it.
Yep, you need a radiation suit, but it has to have like 20% extra thingy, or you will die eventually, right? You can
Mhm.
definitely implement that sort of stuff. So I think it'll probably more come with armor because weapons, it's just going to be
Yeah,
like, essentially extra
Damage.
DPS or making you not miss as much, which is
yeah.
also just
When
essentially
it comes
extra
to
DPS. Armor, you have a little bit extra stuffy.
Yeah, you could more levers to pull.
one,
Yeah.
one sad news at the end. I don't know if you caught it. The
We
regular
did.
website is going down.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
crazy.
just say this. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to make any promises for somebody else who's just doing it as a passion project. But there's a guy in my org who has a website that was like pulling the information from Regolith. Was
Mhm.
planning on doing his own kind of version. But then once the Regolith website had an API, he was like, oh, I'll just pull it. And he's been talking to him. And people offered to buy the website and run it.
Mhm.
But and for people who don't know what it is, it's a mining website that like you can run mining fleets with, which is in my opinion the best feature. But also it was crowdsourcing information on where ores were. That's not as necessary anymore because that information's in the game now. But my favorite thing was
But the
fleets.
percentages.
Yeah, the percentages help. So the fleets were, but those are always going to be skewed a little bit. But the fleets
Kinda.
were, to me, were the coolest aspect. And
Mhm.
what the guy I talked to said that when people offered to buy the site, our user data was on there, and they were going to use it. So he was getting good numbers, but they were going to steal our user data. So he was like, "No, I'm not going to sell it." So he said he's going to make some source code available to the public, and I think people will recreate a Regolith light, probably.
But couldn't he purge the data?
I don't know. I don't know anything, but that's just what he said. I'm just relaying
Well,
the
yeah,
information.
in his post, he just said he's not doing it. That's the just. It doesn't matter why.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it for me.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Awesome.
Thanks for the
Thank you very
call.
much, Space Monkey. As always.
All right,
See you next time.
Yes,
See you
sir. Be
next
good.
time. Have a good one.
All right, and next is Punja Stick, and let me move people around. Punji, can you hear us?
How we
can.
doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So I also have the same kind of complaints about the abundance of qualities, the wide range of qualities, but I think mostly just because it would, as they said, create a inventory management nightmare, and I don't like the idea of just self-selecting. Oh, I'm not going to go for these lower tiers. I'm kind of the opinion that every material should be useful at some point, even if you have to put more work into it.
Let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Then how do you feel about the change on Friday where it's like 500's the middle, that's 0 baseline, and everything below that is you get negatives, and everything above it you get positives? Because they're basically doing exactly what you want and going, oh, so there's actually only 500. It's 500 to 1,000 instead of 0 to 1,000.
I like that. I think the baseline should, if they're going to go like with negatives, maybe push the baseline a little lower to where you start to see the negatives. So like start at 300. Anything below that is like, you get a negative quality gun. Anything above that, you get a positive quality. Then that would be
It also
you have to really. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say really quickly because otherwise I'll forget. It also means everything below 500 is like PVE targets. to do PvE missions with, to sell to PvE vendors. Like that's all that stuff. Right? All the player stuff is 500 plus.
And I can see a use for, like, even outside of PvE, a use for lesser quality equipment. Like, if you're going to Lazarus and you're not expecting PvP, but there's like an incentive to switch out your kit real quick to put on the Sterling suit to get into some of the doors, or put on the lab coat to get into some of those rooms, you can safely do that and not worry too much if, my stuff just fell through the floor and that's gone forever. But it was garbage tier because you kind of half expected that.
I'm going to
Also,
slightly
I
change
mean,
your
you
example
can
because we
craft
should
ammo.
never be. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to slightly change your example because we should never think about features in terms of how bugs interact with them.
Right.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
fix the bugs.
Yeah.
In that same situation, someone else rocks up and takes that armor away, takes those weapons away from you as you've switched.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe they should have not, if not reduce the spread of quality for the mineral side, like leave, but then doing that requires RNG for the output side. Give us a way to kind of consolidate, like, subfolders for our inventories. So if you have minerals processed or otherwise, they all just go into a folder and then you can expand that. Or give us a way, like, even through the crafting system, to take like one quality of iron, mix it with another quality, and arrive somewhere in the middle between the quantity and quality of that, to just kind of boost it up to a certain extent, maybe only up to base quality.
Yeah, they did mention
So
refining,
yes,
upping quality
that's what I
at
was
some
looking.
point.
Yeah, so there'll
Okay,
be
I
a
wasn't aware of
purpose
that.
for there'll be a purpose eventually for the lower stuff to even do your big tech stuff. There was also talking about this today. What I would really like to see them do that is like a logarithmic scale. Like if you have 20 SCU of 500 and you refine it, you get 5 SCU of 600. If you have 20 SCU of 600, you get 1 SCU of 700. If you have 20 SCU of 700, you get 0.1 SCU of 800, right? Like super, super scaling. So then it also means if you really wanted to invest it,
That
you could
is
try to
literally
go for
what
your big
refining is too.
1000s.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, right? You are
Yeah.
losing a bunch of the product to get a better quality product. And I think it would be really, really cool to do it in that. So that, like, if you want that really, really high tier stuff, and that really, really high tier stuff is really, really hard to find, and you've spent 3 weeks just getting like your 900s, you can go for the higher stuff, but it's going to come at a big cost.
I just don't understand why we're able to craft negative guns, like with red on them. I always thought it was like, we're gonna boost the barrel fire rate, but it's gonna overheat faster, or we're gonna put a better barrel on it, but it's gonna be heavier, or you're gonna put this on it, but it's gonna have more kick, and that did not happen. So I'm assuming, hey, first update, maybe it will, but
I think they could do I don't know if they could do it, but it would be very interesting if they had this system in place and then they started to remove the availability of a lot of these unique items. Like make it a lot harder to find your scalpels, a lot harder to find your even just
on
your
NPCs and stuff.
And on NPCs, on shops, all that sort of stuff, make them a lot more difficult to get, and then you will probably risk having the worst ones for a little bit.
Or if they are on NPCs, they're negative quality or something. I don't know. The negative, why would I ever craft a negative thing is the part that is just, that confuses me. And I think they're trying to push us into using it for missions, using it for ammo and stuff like that. But it's just like, why not just set the base at what you had before? I think people just didn't like it. And then they were like, all right, fine. No minimum quality, but minimum quality, just in a different way.
Another way as well. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I was in the camp of people as like, I keep finding all this material, but because it's like 3 points below 500, I can't use it for crafting. So it was taking me a lot longer than I would prefer to actually get to testing out the crafting side of things.
Yeah.
Just push the base quality down to 300. Anything below that, some marginal decrease in stats, I think would be fine for most people.
Yeah.
I also maybe there could be an argument for, you could make it so that the negative quality stuff doesn't affect the stat that it should. Like if I have negative iron, and let's say iron's doing recoil, I don't know what it actually is, but let's say iron affects recoil. I take negative iron, I still get a bonus to recoil, but because the iron is negative, I now get a punishment to like fire rate.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
That would be a really interesting way of doing it, is like you're
Mhm.
still getting some bonuses that you might be after, but then there's a other punishment somewhere else. Right?
Yeah, it should just be like dog shit durability if they're actually going to do that as well, right?
Yeah, that'd be a good one too. It's like you can
Yeah.
still use it, but you're getting 3 magazine reloads out of this gun maximum.
and it's gonna jam if whenever we get that.
Yeah.
That's another thing from SCL that was mentioned, that the
Mhm.
gun jamming and all that stuff is in Squadron right now, but we don't have it yet. There's a lot
Yeah.
of that in SCL this week, but yeah.
Mhm.
The only other point I really had is not a fan of the blueprints not being physicalized. Not because I like necessarily want them to be able to be stolen, but because
True.
I get the blueprint I want out of a mission. There's nothing else in that pool that like I'm aware of that I want. There's
Never
no
doing
reason
that
for me
mission
to do that
again.
mission anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The idea of blueprints being consumable, I think, is almost as important. Not all blueprints necessarily,
Mhm.
but I think when we start going into the tiers, the later down the
Yeah.
line stuff, it starts to become more important. I think, like making your baseline stuff and whatever, but making your real good
Yeah.
stuff. That's when I'd like to see them become more consumable and tradable, and like
Mhm.
guys, the more stuff that we can interact with each other with and can help each other with and can hurt each other with, the more you have stories that are told and experiences that you'll never forget. Like, sorry, even if it's a horrible experience that some guy killed you and stole your shit, you'll never
Mhm.
forget that. And those are kind of the things that
Yeah.
I think are really important about MMOs is memories that you'll never forget, good and
Mhm.
bad. And I think that's huge.
Yeah. The way that they talked about this is a couple of years ago now, obviously, but the way that they talked about like the additional tiers on blueprints was that they were like semi-customizable too.
Yep.
In that like my tier 2 blueprint will be different to Mike's tier 2 blueprint. And I do think that's when consumability makes a little bit more sense. Think of like using EVE Online terms. This is like you're getting your blueprint originals right now, right?
Yeah. But your BPC
and then
is the bulk of what you do when you craft stuff
Yeah.
in EVE Online, and those are
Yeah.
consumable.
Yeah. So I would like to see. I am okay with being able to unlock our base blueprints, and then I'd like to see a little bit more, whether it's risk or just consumability or whatever of blueprints as they get better as we start to upgrade them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We just
hoping that
don't.
the
They
base
also
blueprint-
mentioned some blueprints would be physicalized, possibly consumable, blah 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 blah. So who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that they all become physicalized, because otherwise we're still in the same situation where we are now, where it's like you have someone just off mining while the other people are grinding for the blueprints and sharing the missions, and then
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a really good thing, actually.
I'd rather it be like you have the same effect, but the people off grinding for that hand it to the person who's meant to be the crafter. Like maybe your crafter doesn't know which end of the gun goes towards the bad guys, and it's like they should never be allowed out there. I'd like for them to at least have to receive the blueprint physically.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't prefer this system over the one you're mentioning. Even BPOs in EVE Online are physical.
Mhm.
They just don't. They're not consumable. There's a difference. So, all right, Punji.
That's all I had.
All right, let's
Awesome.
let you go. Thank you so much for your call, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yep,
choose a ton.
thank you.
We got to talk about Eve.
All
We
right.
haven't done it yet.
Have a good one. I mean, actually, kind of crazy that it took this long. This is the crafting patch, and it took this long
I know,
for
and
us
we
to
did not
mention
talk
Eve.
about it. I tried to be a good boy. I tried to be a good boy. You were the bad boy this week. All right, let's bring in
Yay.
Miles. Miles, can you hear us?
How are we doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
So, with the blueprints, I think, as it stands, Just going to the physical. I definitely think they should be physical. I should be able to get multiple of the same blueprint. It'd be like, well, I already have this one, so eventually toss it in my player vendor.
Well,
I
yeah,
think,
if you physicalize them, yeah, that's presumably an entire section that comes.
I think a game that does blueprint acquisition really well is Fallout 76. Everything in that game, you can get it. They call them plans in that game. You can get pretty much every item, like everything in that game is you can get as like a plan, a prop. You can, you know, you get it from every aspect of the game as well, from quests to just looting NPCs to what they call public events, where things just like, hey, pop up for everybody. Everybody joins it. You get rewards at the end. I think that game does really well with that. I think that's a place that they should look at, where you're getting blueprints from just everywhere, really, with different levels of rarity.
I miss that they weren't drops. Like like I guess like some of them feel like drops, like when you complete the Rockbreaker one. But I also want to loot NPCs that have them.
That's fair. Yeah, that'd be an interesting way to like you're doing. Let's say you're grinding your ASD facilities over and over and over again, then you get a rare drop blueprint in
on an NPC. But like you're also because like when this ecosystem starts to connect more together, like shouldn't you not want to loot an NPC and like hopefully it's got materials on it and maybe you get a blueprint and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think every part you should be finding blueprints everywhere, from quest rewards to looting to out in the world. You can just find like, hey, this random thing just on the desk, pick it up. Oh, it's a blueprint.
I think you should go back to the 2024 or 2023. I think they basically say everything you just said is what they want to do.
Yeah.
And, which maybe is still on the plans. Just it's
I'm
whether
sure it is.
I'm not
Guys,
going to be the right.
Dude,
yeah.
This
As
went
Sean
from
Tracy said,
you get all the blueprints for one mission in one Evo to random blueprints to what we have now. Like it is evolving very quickly, and I think it's going to continue to.
Yeah.
All right, and then last thing, Miles, before we move on.
With quality, I actually have Star Wars Galaxies restoration open right now.
Yep.
Which I've been getting into a lot the last couple of weeks. Highly recommend. And the way they do it is all material. Like they have a buy material. This item stack goes to 10 million, I think, of this one item, and I think it just uses the best quality in that stack at any time.
Wait, so is there other qualities in it that you could separate out?
I'm not a crafting character, but I can do like the basic crafting. It gives an overall quality, but so like I have this one stack of, it's by like material type. So carnivore meat, avian meat, insect meat. Actually, I have two different insect meats. So
you're not selling this right now very well.
Yeah. But it's, large stacks, I think, is the better thing, where you could just, if you just want to use it, it'll just use the best. If you want to split it, you could sort by, maybe right click, split by material quality, range 700 through 1000. And that material will just separate out into its own stack. But it can condense into one master stack, so it's not just cluttering up your whole inventory.
Okay, so let me be clear before we move on. If I have 5 different qualities and I have a bunch of them in Star Wars Galaxies, it all combines into one stack and it'll just say the best quality there.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
That's an option, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just representing. It's like a folder.
Yeah. Yes. A folder is the best way to look at it, where you can just go in and, if you just drag that folder onto your option, if you have it set, you could just have it best to worst, worst to best, whatever. It'll just
Yep.
use that. Or if you want to go in and take a specific amount, then you can do that.
Okay.
Maybe that's the direction CIG is going because they're clearly taking from Star Wars Galaxies. Just don't have the feature,
Yes.
the ability to yet. Because we do have the like best to worst and all that stuff. But all right, Pepik, we still got what 3, maybe 4 to go. We're probably just gonna do the 3.
Yep.
Very quick last
about,
thing.
like, yeah, the for the SCL, the self revives thing, I think is actually okay. They just need to make it where the really just benign system that we have right now of drug toxicity actually matters, to where if you use one of those, you're probably capped out at drug toxicity, where even a med pen would tip you over.
The one time I remember blood drug level mattering was like one of the original Siege of Orisons.
Yeah.
And I probably remember for a bad reason because there's just a lot of walking in Siege of Orison.
Yep. I was
but it was like the
drunk.
first time where I was like, man, I am being punished for being bad at the game right now. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever experienced that since, actually. I think every time since then, I've either been at... I've never been hurt enough to require that much medicine in like the short time, or it's been very easy to get back to a med bed.
Yeah. They need to balance drug toxicity, I think, to where like 3 med pens is like a 1 med pen of Hemazole is 35% toxicity, where just so you can't just endlessly inject yourself.
Yeah.
And I also think they should do this just because I've been playing Star Wars Galaxies, where you have a wounds meter that goes from 0 to 100, and as that builds up, you just get less health, rather than it being tied to the wound system. That way you have to either get another player to treat you, or you go to a hospital and pay for the service fee, rather than being able to cure that yourself. Wounds, whatever. But
that's exactly
a
what we have.
slow building meter. You can cure it yourself, though.
You can't cure your own injuries without going to a med bed.
Well, yes, but I think you should have to pay to get wounds cured.
Okay, fair enough. But all right, Pepik / Miles, we'll let you go. And yeah, the self revive. I'm glad somebody brought it up, because I don't think I did in the SCL part. So I'm glad you did. It was something they've talked about a lot in the last couple of years, but just not a lot. But they've mentioned it multiple times now.
Yeah. It's like, it's good to get people to get back in quickly. So like, so you keep going, but there needs to be a like cutoff point.
Yes.
And but
this is your cutoff point.
Yeah.
He just left.
Cheers, Miles. Thanks very much for calling, mate. All right. Next up is going to be Ringo Shonen.
Oh, okay.
How are we doing, Ringo? Ooh.
Yep. Oh no.
Oh, I'm gone.
You're back.
There we go. How are we doing, Ringo?
Hello.
Howdy.
Good day to you.
Let me bring your name up, Ringo, and then I have to run for 2 seconds to go outside because it's about to rain and we need to let the dog out. So I am listening and I hear you. But
that's fair. Last time I only got to talk to you and not Croncy. This time I only get to talk to Croncy.
No, I will be back.
Yay!
No. All right. I'm organized here. I got notes.
Lovely.
Just to touch up on the medic stuff, like self revives as a medic player, that players should have it if they need it or want it. But we need something on the medic side to give us something to do. Because like we only got like incapacitated people during bunkers or Onyx. Now they can just get themselves up. There's never going to be another beacon again.
Well, beacons are terrible anyway, so that's fine. But
beacons were always so stupid.
Most people will just use third parties to guarantee a dedicated group will just show up and not a rando who's just going to murk them and steal their items.
They did mention a couple of things that medics are going to be able to do. One of them we already mentioned.
Which is bad.
There'll be new radar tech and stuff. Really?
Yeah.
You don't like being able to figure out how healthy people are and stuff?
Well, think about it in the most negative way. If I'm part of a PvP pirate group, I'm going to have one player with a medic suit. So if we down someone and we're still trying to clear out all the other players, the person in the evil medic suit can now just go and find all the corpses.
I don't think that's bad.
I mean, it gives pirates something to do, but I
I
guess
think
it's
that's. I actually
usual.
think I hadn't thought about that gameplay. I actually think that's kind of interesting. Is having someone dedicated to go around and find all the downed players is kind of cool, especially considering they will be in medic gear, which will presumably be worse at combat than combat gear, right? So there is a downside to that if that's what they want to do.
Right, but if you got a pirate group, you got your
Yeah.
frontliners, they just shoot to incapacitate, and then the pirate medic can then be like, yeah, that's a fresh body. Don't waste your time looting the people who've been dead for like 3 hours.
All right.
Yeah, that's
I've
cool.
waited
I like
14
that.
years. I've waited 14 years to get mining and crafting in the game properly.
All right. Yeah,
Right?
let's get back to that then.
No. We don't have to get back to that. This is about medical. They told you that they are going to improve medical. I, many times during the times that they told me that they would improve mining and make crafting, never believed that they would do it and good enough. And I did have to repeat myself 1,000 times to be like, I really hope it's like this.
Mhm.
So keep on going, but also understand that they do hear the medical pilots. You're just
Yeah.
not that important in terms of priorities right now because there are
That's fine.
1,000 other things that are important. Right? And
Yeah,
I
no,
I
like,
feel
there needs
like
to be
you
gameplay.
feel like you're the most important person because I know I feel like
No.
I'm the most important person when it comes to like, hey, how is mining and crafting not the most important thing, right? And so yeah,
Well, it's
I
mostly ship combat game first before everything else, but actually having like levels like the new Rock Breaker or all that stuff for people to play, dungeons or whatever you want to call them.
yeah,
That needs
which
to
is why
exist.
medical is not viable because you're
It's not.
mostly
Yeah,
going to blow
it's
up
a
in an
back.
explosion instead of.
I mean, the fact that they're mentioning something like self revives a quality of life for now, a band aid fix, or maybe a permanent thing, as long as they get
It's a
medics something
permanent
they
1.0
get to
thing.
do.
Well, so that was the other thing that I was going to mention. Is there was a second thing that they were going to give medics to do, and I've now forgotten what the specific thing was. But there was going to be a specific drug you have to give to properly get up and down to players as well.
Yeah, it's not med pens anymore.
yeah.
It's not the med gun. They're going to
Yeah.
kill the med gun, and in terms of how good it is.
So that
they
yeah,
call
so
it
there's
the
going to be
screamer
extra
pen.
layers to that as well.
The
So
fact that
I
it's a
think
one-handed item that can do all this is crazy. Whereas,
Can do
you know, if you
one
want a tractor
thing. What do you
beam-
mean all this?
Well, okay, if you look at was it salvaging, right? You can
Okay.
use the multi-tool for salvaging, but if you want to dedicate salvage, you have to use a giant primary two-handed weapon, which salvages.
Okay.
yeah, he's saying the med gun can do too much.
Yeah, especially as a
Yeah,
sidearm.
which I agree. I think it does do too much. It
And then you
heals,
already have the multi-tool
it gets rid
sidearm.
of. Yeah, it heals.
I'm
it
not
gets
saying
rid
it's
of
bad that
symptoms
they're
of all
getting
these
rid of the
different
med
things.
gun. Yeah, I'm
It
saying that's a good
masks
thing.
them.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
yeah,
it masks.
drug level doesn't raise fast enough. Again, we do have a dedicated
Yes.
drug that lowers it faster.
Mhm.
Make me have to use that.
Yeah. When's the last time someone bought? Is it Detoxin or whatever?
Every
Uh,
time I use my med gun,
detox.
if I need to mask an injury, I use that. It's part of the med gun too, so you should just take that out of it as well.
It is, but the masking an injury, I think is that's a cool mechanic, and it
Yeah.
is supposed to raise your blood drug level, but it doesn't raise it anywhere near the amount that it probably should.
Not with the med gun,
remember,
but if you use the pens,
If you
it does.
detox, it removes the masking as well because it clears all
Yeah.
the drugs out, and if the drugs were, it reduces your like 6-minute timer from masking. I don't know if this is what the other guy meant when he's talking about an injury meter or whatever. It is a little. I mean, maybe this could be a medic specific thing, but like you get hurt, and it still feels like a coin flip of okay, I got shot 50 times, but I'm fine. Versus I walk into the first bunker, get shot once, and I instantly have a tier 3 injury. Like if they had some sort of like maybe exclusive to medic armor that you get to see this like a meter on your arm that says okay, you're at full health, but your arm's at 50% wound, kind of like a Fallout game. And once it gets to 0, then you enter tier 3 injury, and then as that gets to 0 again, tier 2 injury, and maybe there's something a medic could do dedicatedly that could restore that back up to full, but not remove the injury.
Yeah, you just want to expand the gameplay of dedicated
yeah,
medical,
that's
which
again,
I think is reasonable. I would like them to expand medical gameplay. The end.
Yeah, not
okay,
medics.
so let's get back to
'Cause
what
even
we're
if you're just
supposed to be talking
doing-
about.
But
talking
it's
too
just
much
like,
about
even if you're
medical.
just doing like a squad random PvE thing, medical gameplay, even just like for your personal stuff, is still super low tier, boring. Like, it's not much of anything.
But yeah, again, that's just some stuff I got sidetracked because the last guy ended
Oh,
on
good.
it. But Mike, I asked you this at the before the stream started, but you said that maybe one ship was actually getting more lamp.
Somebody said one extra ship got lamp added to it in this patch. I don't remember what it was, but
Okay.
he's in the chat. Frozander said it, so maybe he'll perk up.
Like it just, I was kind of expecting that every update, like we'd probably get a dozen or so more ships added to having lamp. I don't feel
Imagine
like this is.
expecting.
I mean, I feel like don't they have a toolkit for this where they can just like add it in and then see if
It does
works?
feel like it should be one of the easier things for them to do, because there's
Here
not
you
like
go.
an
Super Hornet
animation
Mark
tied
II.
to it or anything, right?
There you go. There was one
Okay.
ship, the Super Mark.
Oh.
I knew somebody said it.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah, it's
what
not
did
like
he
there's
say?
any
Super
big
Mark Hornet.
animations or anything. It's just a filter on the glass. As always, like, I don't know much about the actual like game programming.
It's
Well,
not
we
about
got
the
it, though.
game
Not be-
programming. It's
not
that
too
there's too much
hard.
programming. There's too many things. There's too many fucking things to do that they never finish the job. And it is
But they were able
so
to add it to what,
annoying.
like 30 or 40 ships to start with?
Yes, because that was the priority for those months. And then those people, because there's like 4 of them working on Star Citizen and 40,000 working on Squadron 42, we never get what we need. And like,
No.
bro, I am so sick of hearing, oh, this is in Squadron. It's so fun over there. Sure, buddy. And then it comes to Star Citizen and it sucks. And you're like, all right, well, this doesn't work in a multiplayer environment. And you wasted all this fucking time over there when you should have been working on our shit. We're actually paying for. So yes, I am in as much frustration with you guys. I don't give a shit about the lamp stuff really, but it goes across the board with this company on these things. We start a job and never fucking finish it ever, dude. It is so annoying. So I understand your frustration and
slightly related.
there, I was
and a little
positive
bit
all
more-
day. You got me off, and that's
I'm
good.
gonna throw it back to the positive in a slightly related way, which is someone in my chat brought up a really good idea that I would love to see soon. That I also hope would maybe be able to come through, because Lamp was like first introduced with the scopes, and then now we've got it on ship screens. Would love to have a helmet. Since they've been talking about armors and whatnot, would love to have a low vision helmet. Hell, make it light armor, 0% damage reduction. Give us that. That'd be dope as
We'll get that with Starware right after we invent our new feature where they're introducing called Star Wheels, where we decided we were going to reinvent the wheel.
That was the first feature they ever fucking created. But all right, Rigo, do you got anything else?
Sure. Yeah. Blueprints. I want to talk about those. We got a little bit too long in the medical.
Yeah.
One, negative. Why the hell would anyone ever want to make negative? Just
I'm
bad
confused.
in every regard.
I think you don't, and then that's their way of forcing you into using it for other stuff. But that's like a weird way of doing that. It is saying that there's a minimum quality without forcing you into the minimum quality, while at the same time forcing you into the minimum quality. It's very weird.
It's like I want to mine stuff so that I could, craft stuff. But it's like first I have to go and look for a rock. Is it the right rock? No. Okay, I gotta go look for another rock. Is it the right rock? Yes. Is the quality too low? No. Am I mining or am I scouting?
Yes, that is the correct argument here. That's the correct argument here. We want mining to be. Our whole argument about why mining has been so bad for so long is it's not mining; it's constantly scanning. It just got worse from that standpoint.
Well, it got the same, right? It didn't change. It's just what you were scouting for changed.
Yeah.
So now, and that's the question for CIG, because you said, why would we want to do this? I don't think CIG want you to. They don't ever want you to use those materials. They do want you to scout for the more expensive ones, and that's not necessarily what we want to do. So
we've already got inert material. That's already you can't just mine or just hit every rock mindlessly. It's like, oh, this rock's like 80% junk.
No, you kind of still do. You kind of still do, because you will just take whatever has even if it's like 80% inert, you'll still take a good quality 20%, right? The quality is so much more impactful than the inert is, especially because you're not finding rocks to be broken that are 100% inert.
Right. Moving on.
You know what I mean? Like, so it does just come from they want us to scout. The way that
And then
they have
again,
decided that we are going to scout is through
refining.
quality.
Refining.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't forget, this is not the
Yeah,
full
it might be
system.
fine anyway.
Okay, blueprints. Other games normally have this to where a blueprint is an item and it's not bound to account. And then if you use it, you learn the blueprint, but then it's no longer an item you can give for trade. This could be where you can get a blueprint from a quest or from a rare enemy drop, and you could still trade it to another player or choose to use it for yourself. But on extending on that, I think basic blueprint should be a permanent unlock. Like if you learn how to make a P4 AR, you get that. But if you want to make the DMR version P4 AR, which would be a specialized blueprint of the same gun, that could be something that has like a durability that it wears off, and then you need to go farm that again. But in
I'd be into
regards to
that.
getting basic blueprints, 2 ways: less grindy, more grindy. You do a mission, it has a loot pool. Once you get that item on your account, it takes off the loot pool. So if there's like 15 items on it, you only have to do the quest 15 times. Or B, it's RNG with maybe what we call soft pity. So you do the mission, and if you get the duplicate, you can trade the duplicate in for a token. If you get enough tokens, you can just trade that in directly for the item that
Get
you
your
do want.
gotcha mechanics out of here.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
We've already
boy.
got gotcha mechanics trying to find out 900 plus quality minerals.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get another freaking Nova from the contested zone. Yay.
I do want to say, I think it comes down to there's like 2 philosophies with like crafting and blueprints, right? Is like, how extensively do you want the entire system to be tied to the economy? And physicalized blueprints make them heavily tied to the economy because they can presumably, in most games, traded. That doesn't have to be the case. It does complicate things in terms of complexity for the player. I don't think it complicates that much. I think it's fine. I think it's a low level of added depth. But I like what you said. I like the idea. Here's your basic bitch blueprints. You get them, you unlock them, you've got them. Whether it's upgrades or variants or whatever, those become a little bit more complex, where you can lose them, or they have a certain amount of print runs, or they have whatever. Right?
All right. Last thing on the blueprints. I hate this whole
real quick,
jack
because we
of
got
all
to kick you in a
trades.
sec.
Yeah.
I hate just blue across the board. Even if you're using the best materials, there needs to be trade-offs. If you want the gun to shoot faster, don't also make it easier to control that. Either like more damage means lower fire rate, faster fire rate means less or greater spread. Like if it's just better in every way, it gets boring.
That's what I said I would like to see with the negative things. It's like you still get that buff, but then here's the negative trade-off for it. So it's like they're still worth it if you want certain upgrades, but they're not going to be the peak of the peak, and you still want to grab the higher qualities.
All right, but the better gets, the worse the worser has to get. The higher the fire rate, even if you have like perfect 1,000, then great, you get like 25% more damage, but you also get minus 50% fire rate. Like those need to both go up. Not like, oh, you got perfect gear, so now it just negates the negatives, and now it only just does more damage.
Depends how good the perfect gear is. If the perfect gear is 10% better than the base value, that's fine.
All right, but with that, I'll dip out then. Let someone else take over.
All right, Ringo. Be good, brother.
Thank you, man.
Cheers for the call. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, we probably have to keep these 2 pretty short, though, unfortunately. And they're regulars. They get a lot of time on the show, so I don't feel too horrible about it.
Kick him off. Get him out.
Yeah, let's get this Shark guy out of here. He's on the show every day anyway. Who cares? I'm just kidding, Shark. What's up?
Wow.
Okay. Okay, Shark. Never mind. Sure. Certified Gumbo. We'll go to Shark at the end. Gumbo, you there?
You're currently muted. There we go.
Okay. All right.
So we're having to run it back. Neither of our last 2 callers were there.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I was second. No, I was letting them in here. Okay. What's going on, everybody?
How's it going?
Good.
All right. So I'm gonna focus on just 3 things: crafting quality, blueprints, and my concerns. Well, one concern. On the quality thing, real quick, I just kind of like want to push back on people who are saying that the 1 to 1,000 is too much. Because I'm curious, like, are you considering like the breadth of items that we'll be able to craft in the future? Like, we're talking about from ammunition all the way up to 1-day space stations. Like if
Yeah,
you look at
so
like just the whole breadth of it plus the different tiers, like 1,000 makes sense to me.
I will
It
say
gives them a lot of
you're
wiggle
right.
room.
Inventory problems will be worse in the future. I agree.
Exactly.
I think it just confounds things. I think they can make 1,000 make sense and make it work mechanically. I don't know if I want them to. That's where I'm at. Now, Mike brought up some good points earlier when we were talking about the like 1 to 1,000. And once again, I have not yet mined to the point where it's been a problem. I've certainly played other MMOs where I've had like 300 items in my inventory, most of them useless at the time being, and it's been fine. So
I always
it's
like
really
having
going to be an experience thing, right?
big full
Um,
inventories.
yeah, I think the biggest thing will be like it's not really a problem if you have a good management system, and this
Yeah.
game doesn't yet. So when you implement that stuff, it's completely fine. You could have 1 to a billion probably, and it wouldn't be an issue as long as you had a good management system.
Yeah, and that also too like ties into my concern with blueprints. Like the blueprints don't give you enough information for one. Like, and I
Yep.
think this ties into the just dog shit Moby-Glass app that we would need to just overhaul completely. But we need a crafting app that I can see all my blueprints, and then the blueprints, that app should tell you essentially what each quality level does, or they could do something similar to like Elder Scrolls where you need to, like, if you get a blueprint for an item, it's for a specific quality level, and you know exactly, like if you have a 300 quality P4 AR, you know how the iron, hephaestonite, and aluminum affect the item stats at that level. And then what you need to do is either craft lower quality or higher quality to see how it affects the item stats. And then it saves that information to your Moby-Glass. Yeah, that would be what I would like to see with the blueprint system. And I also think that they need to have both physical and uh, non-physical blueprints. Like I would like a system where the blueprint itself for the item is a reward that you have to earn either through sandbox activities or through missions. But cosmetic upgrades like skins, those should be in the loot pool. So you can find like a black skin for the P4 AR in the loot table, and that might encourage you to go, oh shit, I need to go and figure out what missions give me the base P4 so I can apply the skin to it. Like that would be, I think, a better system, because like I understand why they don't want to physicalize all the blueprints, because if everybody can just farm like the like a ship blueprint, then like the F7A blueprint, if it's in the loot pool, then people are just going to farm it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather people earn the item itself, and then the customizations and the mods, those things should be in the loot pool.
Well, so I think it's, in my opinion, what they've chosen is more of a design choice rather than necessarily like a balanced choice about how we would use blueprints. Because they don't know how we would use blueprints. Maybe we wouldn't do any of that. Maybe it wouldn't be worth the hassle, right?
Yeah.
It is just the case. Some games do physical, some games don't. At the moment, in today's PTU, they're non-physical. There is, by the sounds of when they were talking about crafting 2 years ago, the possibility of some being physical. At the very least, we know that there will be other ways to get blueprints than just mission rewards. You know, reputation's on the table. It sounds like some type of loot drop might be on the table. I think they even maybe mentioned, I have to watch it again, but I think they mentioned hacking in regards to getting blueprints as well. So that might be on the table as well. And then how that plays in with the rest of us. I don't think you necessarily need to change the way that blueprints work and how they currently work out your bonuses and stuff, but because in that regard, you're just doing the exact same thing in a different way, and I don't think it changes anything in that sort of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also another nebulous area is like how they're going to update refining, because I think that's that's a very important aspect that we just don't have much information on right now, as far as I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Yep.
Because like it would be cool to be able to go like let's say quality level iron of 375 gives you a certain stat that you really want, so you need to refine your iron to that level. So like because I know they said that you'd be able to like target a specific quality level with refining in the future. And so if the stats are affected directly by the quality level of certain materials, and you can refine to that level, like where you're guaranteed through the refining process to get like a certain level quality, that would change things for me positively. Because like crafting is I love crafting in like MMOs and games in general. So like and I like where they're going with it.
Yeah. There's still a ways to
me,
go though.
Yeah, it's a good first step in my opinion. It's not great, it's not perfect, it's not where I'd like it, but I can see how it can move into a more satisfactory direction for me. Not that's no inference on the game.
I think
the
biggest thing and the reason why maybe Mike called it the best patch ever, it's like it feels so nice to have an actual impact on my future gameplay and be able to plan out my future gameplay in that way, right?
Yep.
And it's way more in depth than the stuff that we could have done with that in the past, right? Like theoretically, Wicklow does that as well, but they've already mentioned that Wicklow was a precursor to crafting. It was the tier -1 of crafting. So it's the same idea, right? It's I can play the game, I can have a goal in mind that is going to change how I play next week. And then maybe sometimes I come up against a rock that changes my gameplay next week, and so on, and so on. And then not to mention all of the different tirades that come from that by adding in more trading gameplay opportunities and everything else, right? So it's the reason I called it a game changer. It's because it is. It really is. Even with all the complaints that we've mentioned today and criticisms, the system in place right now is just such a fundamental change.
Well, yeah, I mean, it to me, it begins to unlock the sandbox, which is what like the game has lacked, in my opinion, forever. Ever since I've been playing, like there's no reason, there hasn't been a reason to engage in the sandbox other than your enjoyment of whatever like activity you're doing.
Yeah.
Now you have like a tangible reason to engage with the sandbox. And like I've been saying, like if they just unlock the sandbox, like everybody, we can all sit back and let them develop the game because we have a sandbox to play with. And so as they update stuff, you know, we can kind of be patient. Or at least I can. I don't want to speak for everybody, but if the sandbox was enjoyable, like they can take, well, I don't want to say that, but you know, I know this is going to take a while for them to get to 1.0, but I'd be much more patient if the sandbox was enjoyable. Then my last thing, my concern with
super
crafting,
very quick. We're going way longer than we want to today.
I'm just concerned that we're going to get this and then they're not going to touch it. That's my concern.
Yeah.
Like I want to see from patch to patch them continue to add stuff and in balance. Like, and that's really where my concerns are right now.
We're not ready to move on to something else. You ran out of time to get this patch out complete. Crafting is not done.
Yep.
Agreed. All right, Gumbo, we'll let you go.
All right,
and we'll kind of move quickly here. So I apologize. Thank you for the call. We always appreciate you. You know that.
Yeah.
You were just at the end today.
All right.
Catch you
later.
Yep. Shark's gonna get the same treatment. It's gonna be quick because it is late for both of us. Yes.
Yes, we can.
Holy.
So I was actually bouncing right off of what you had said. You're like, oh, he's in here every week, and I'm like, I wasn't here last week. Anyway, real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're only here for Croncy,
I had
so
to
I'll
replace. I had to replace my 2080 Ti, so I ended up getting a 7600 or 7900 XTX.
Star Citizen.
4 gigs of VRAM.
I'm gonna do it right now. Star Citizen.
Okay,
Stick to it
sorry.
Today.
I actually really like having the stats go negative with poor quality ore, because in real life, if you sell someone really shitty copper, someone might find a review thousands of years later, and that's all you're known for.
Let's go.
I like the
let
licensing
me do that.
fees.
PIG, please let me do that. Don't tell them what the quality is till they start to use it. That'd be so fun.
Yeah. I like the licensing fees idea. That's really good. And then I think that if you make a lot of guns with higher quality materials and higher stat barrels, for instance, your gun barrels should have a higher chance of coming with the higher stats. You get a little buff to that.
Okay.
And then going really quick to the injuries thing, I think that this will probably happen more like if we get the injury maelstrom stuff, but you shouldn't be able to take more than a certain percentage of your health from a certain body part. Like if you get shot in the arm 100 times, you shouldn't be able to take more than whatever 20% or whatever your arm hit points is. But and I don't think that we should have stats always have to trade off if you're using like perfect material and you're really good at crafting. I just think that if you're doing higher rates of fire and whatever, then that should increase the wear on it as opposed to impacting the other stats.
It's a way to do it for sure.
I like trade-offs,
that's all I got.
but I'm not disagreeing.
Trade-offs are fun. My head goes that the trade-offs come with the higher tiers, and the fact that Mike's blueprint will be different to mine, that is the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
Is like, because it's essentially the same thing. We have two items with different stats. They've got different bonuses. It doesn't have to be a thing has a negative if the baseline is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're grinding for god tier ore and putting all of that work into it, like it should be that much better.
Yeah.
I would still also make sure though when we're doing upgrades that it is also a logarithmic scale, but like the other way, whatever that's called.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
At 900 quality, this is 10% better. At 99 quality, this is 10.001% better type thing. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'm gonna let you go early because
thank you, Shark.
You'll let us go early.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good.
That is so nice.
Yeah. Answer the Shark podcast.
My wife came in and was like, I'm hungry. And that's the like alarm bells. Wow, we gotta end. So
all right. Cheers to the call, Shark. I appreciate it a bunch.
All right, bye, Shark.
Have a good one.
All right. Then he just said out. I am speaking about you, yes. All right, guys, that is the end of today's show. Again, lots of things to discuss, complain about, but I think lots of things to praise in the patch too. So I'm very excited to just keep going with this. It's going to be a good time, good fun, and
definitely.
I think maybe next week we try to get Red on and talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost certainly patch release. If not, we'll still be in PTU. We know that the ISC is about the patch, so it's not going to be a lot of news this week. So it might be time to get the mining theory crafting in and how we're feeling about the system and what Red and other industry players are feeling about the system, especially with a bit more time in it.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, follow us on socials, check out our streams. We're going to be doing a lot of crafting, a lot of it, and probably a lot of Rockbreaker too. So check us out if you haven't yet. And don't forget
to subscribe, but also answer the call.
Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. That's also an important one. Very important.